Yeah, I've called this the golden age of fraud, and I teach a course on the history of financial market fraud, and one of the themes of the course is that the fraud cycle um, is a lag of the financial and business cycle. That the longer the business and financial cycle goes on, the more people's sense of disbelief erodes, and they begin to believe things that are too good to be true. I think and when the bubbles burst, that's when basically, since most frauds need new capital, they're generally variations of Ponzi schemes. When people ask for their money back, that's when the fraudulent business models come to light. I've joked that the best defense attorney and the harshest prosecutor for these types of frauds is stock prices. When everything's going up, there's no incentive, no complaints, except for maybe some short sellers who are sitting there throwing stones. But generally, there's no political will to go after corporate wrongdoing, and it isn't until the public starts losing money in a big way that the mood changes. And since a lot of these types of prosecutions end up being political, when the public starts losing money, and institutions start, saying, "Why do we own this? What's this accounting again?" That's when you tend to see the regulators and lawmakers and law enforcement begin to get active, and I think this cycle will be no different.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Truth Be Told. We got our whole crew out here today. The Lord,
I know,
we just pop out now. Some new restream magic to test out.
I was waiting for the intro. I was like, "Oh, hello!"
Right?
Yeah.
Good thing I wasn't eating a cookie.
We'll work it out eventually, right? Today, we have a whole list of stuff, both real world and meme stocks, to go over the factual truths, some of the inaccuracies that go out there in the waves. But you know what? We've been kind of riding the Cook v. Trump case really hard. So I think that is our starting point. I mean, the thumbnail kind of gave it away. I figured I'd start with finally collecting that trophy again, third time running on 3 different accounts.
I have that trophy.
Technically, it's an illegal trophy. If he wants to use his personal account for governmental business, then he can't block.
I mean, he changed the name of his account to director of. Yeah, I mean, he changed his account to like his official title. So,
yeah, technically, it's illegal for him to block you. It's especially illegal for what did he do to Ocelot? He had like Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac account.
Fannie.
Yeah, that's the trophy that we're all.
I know. How do you get that one?
I don't think it's blocked me. I mean, now that I'm saying it, probably will. But
I know. But how did he get it? Like, congratulations.
Magical powers. Clearly magical powers. So we're going to be going over the Trump v. Cook case starting out. As the thumbnail kind of gave it away, I don't know if you guys liked the whose fraud is it anyway joke in the thumbnail, but I kind of thought it was cute. So Amy has done the hard work for us. I have read all these documents. I just did not have the time to get them choreographed so we could get them in a concise fashion. So whenever you're ready, Amy, take us down the wonderful road.
So we're going to start with Lowell's, right?
Yeah. Because that's where we left off, was Cook's reply to the opposition to the preliminary injunction. Or we're on a TRO, actually, right? Oh, no. There we go. Let me see if I can.
Oh, I'm all the way at the bottom of the screen. Let's go up to the top.
In fact, let me see if I can. If we do this. Does that make it better? No, that makes it worse. What about if I do this?
Is it small? Do you want me to?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Is that better? I can go a little bit more?
Yeah, a little more.
Okay.
I'll also drop this.
Get in there.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Stop that.
Too big.
There we go.
Right, so now it's huge.
Yeah, that's
fantastic. That's huge. That's huge on my screen, but yeah, it looks good there. Okay, so this is his response to the government, right? Her in support of her TRO. I don't think I'm sure everybody's pretty set on everything, right? We don't need to go through like all of the
Right.
Okay, so if everybody wants to look over that real quick.
No, just go straight to like the clip
Okay.
points you want to.
All right. So let's go see introduction. So argument. So he starts with their reliance on Reagan, which is we were talking about that. So he's basically saying that they're misinterpreting Reagan. Hold on. Maybe I'll send that a little bit. Okay, so he's saying that they're misinterpreting Reagan. So he's saying, let's start with the text of the statute. Reagan considered the rights of judicially appointed commissioners without fixed tenure who were under the authorizing statute removable for causes prescribed by law. The court interpreted prescribed by law to mean prescribed by legislative act. Its first inquiry, therefore, was into whether any pre-existing statutes prescribed such cases. The court explained that if there were, then the rule would apply. That were cases where cases of removal are specified by constitution or statute, as also where the term of office is for a fixed period, notice and hearing are essential. So he's saying, because the government is basically arguing that she is not owed notice or hearing, and that they're leaning pretty hard into that. And they're saying that
hop up while you're there that this is Reagan here, so you can look up at Justia, and with a lot of these Supreme Court rulings, it's really easy to find them. But I just wanted to real quick pop that in there.
So, and he says the court thus recognized two distinct categories of officers who were entitled to notice and hearing, and ultimately judicial review. A, officers without fixed terms whose causes of removal were prescribed by statute, and B, officers such as Federal Reserve Board governors serving fixed terms. So this is how Lowell sees Reagan v. U.S. The government sees it very differently, which is interesting to me that they are both interpreting it very, very differently. So here's the conclusion. They concluded that there were no statutes prescribing causes of removal for commissioners, so commissioners, unlike officers serving fixed terms, were not entitled to notice and hearing. The court concluded that the firing judge's determination regarding cause was a matter of discretion and not reviewable. By default, such officers were removable at the will of the power appointing them.
Yeah, because a federal judge is not given a fixed term that they're appointed to. They're just kind of there.
Right. So, it comes to the question of like serving at the pleasure of the president, right? Like, so that that is be like the deterrent. I think that is what Lowell is saying, that Fed governors don't serve at the pleasure of the president. So
they have a fixed term on an independent body.
Right. So they're saying critically, at-will officers lack the procedural protection held by officers with fixed statutory terms. That's the gist of it, right? So this is notice and hearing. I try to there's a lot of this filing is, I think, 30 pages.
Yeah,
so I'm trying to I went through and I'm kind of just highlighting like some of the important parts that he made. Like if you guys want to read these, feel free.
They're on court listeners.
There's plenty in here, but I'm just kind of I'm trying to go through like the argument for Lowell, and like these are like Judge Cobb asked for case law. She specifically asked Lowell for like, I need the case law, give me the case law. So there's a lot of it in there, and it's
right, because she knows this is going up to the Supreme Court more than likely, regardless of who wins out, even when we get to the appellate level. So she wants stuff that she can use and say, hey, this is why I did this. This is the case. This is how I see it. Right.
So there wasn't a whole lot of meat on the bones in the first TRO and support for the TRO, right? It was pretty like this happened, this is why she should get it kind of thing. So he went into it in this one for sure. The next one is for Trump's purported basis for firing Governor Cook does not amount to cause. So this becomes the cause argument that, I said last week I thought it was always going to come down to this, but so here's what he says. As the court articulated standard in Humphrey's Executor makes clear, removal for cause is best understood as a term of art that is limited to instances of inefficiency, neglect of duty, and malfeasance. Like he shortened it to I and M throughout most after this part. So that's how we'll refer to it. The Supreme Court has suggested that for cause and I and M are synonymous. A debate on the 1935 amendment to the FRA was reinstated. That reinstated the for cause standard, illustrates Congress's intent that the FRA's for cause removal provision be tied to the INM standard, articulated just months prior by the Supreme Court in Humphrey's Executor. So that's he's basically saying that the entire reasoning, right, in the 1935 amendment was for this.
Right, because they specifically waited for the ruling to come down.
Yeah. Well, to more define the for cause statute, right? So that's where he's going to lean into for the for cause. So the Supreme Court recently made clear that any for cause safeguards of agency independence must apply with particular force to the Federal Reserve. And then he quotes Trump v. Wilcox in the part where they said that they are a quasi-private entity, that part we read last week. In 1972, the Federal Reserve's longtime general counsel, Howard Hackley, explained that presumably a board member, like a member of the Interstate Commerce Commission, cannot be removed by the president except for inefficiency, neglect of duty, and malfeasance of office. Since the enactment of the original Federal Reserve Act, a period of nearly 60 years, no president has attempted to remove a member of the board. The first part of Hackley's statement, the FRA's for cause removal provision means INM remains true. Unfortunately, the second part of this statement no longer does. He throws some haymakers in here that I did, but
I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but I know at one point they even elaborate like what would be for a for cause hearing, what would it look like? And they go back to the Taft administration. But if you've already got that highlighted, I don't want to jump too far ahead of you. But
sure. So he's doubling down with even after he's cited a couple different cases here. But so he says, to be sure, Collins versus Yellen, the Supreme Court stated that for cause removal restriction for the FHFA director, ding, 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 haymaker, appears to give the president more removal authority than statutes specifying particular basis for removal. But the court had no occasion to definitively interpret what causes the statute encompassed because it held the director must be removed at will. And I almost I'm reading this and I'm like, is he sending a message to Pulte saying, you don't get these protections. You can be removed at will.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? Because I do.
Why would he cite part of it
specifically the FHFA?
Well, because is that what what was Collins versus Yellen? What was that about?
This is about for cause removal of the FHFA director. Collins versus Yellen.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm saying, why would he look for that specific case law, right? Like, you can't tell me that was an accident. Are you telling me that?
I don't think it was, but I don't know if it's really that biting because at the end of the day, it's still the president that has to do the removal. But
maybe it's just biting by me. But anyway,
it's just hopeful thinking,
right? And while various statutes delineated multiple different grounds for removal when the FHFA was created in 2008, and thus could be understood to be incorporated as cause under the statute, INM appears to have been the only statutory basis for removal in existence when the Federal Reserve Board was created in 1913. That distinct historical tradition governs the proper understanding of the for cause removal protections for members of the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors. Yeah, so maybe it was wishful thinking, but I was like, oh,
Absolutely.
it seems like a nod. I'm just saying. So this is where he's going to get into private conduct before taking office could not amount to cause, and there are other remedies for
Right.
such a circumstance. So he says pre-office conduct, like there's a bunch of case law in there that you can look up. But pre-office conduct is addressed through the vetting process and impeachment. A thorough vetting by both the president appointing the nominee and the Senate before voting on confirmation should bring to light any pre-office conduct.
And
This
that's a
allows the
point I think,
nominee.
sorry, that like the impeachment process, I think is important here. Like if Congress doesn't agree with a member of the Federal Reserve, or doesn't agree with any executive branch member, whether that be a cabinet member or the president itself, like people think of impeachment and they think, oh, it's just the president. But no, it's any executive branch member that can
Yeah,
be impeached.
yeah, for sure. This allows the nominee to address the allegation to the individuals responsible for their placement on the board and removes the incentive to sit on evidence of pre-office conduct to be used for a subsequent administration to remove. And if pre-office conduct comes to light only after the vetting and confirmation process, members of the Federal Reserve Board can be impeached. U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Subsection 4. So even if the pre-office conduct was considered against the broadest definition of cause, the allegation on which President Trump took his action would not amount to cause. The contradictory representations allegedly made by Governor Cook on her financial documents are not offenses of moral turpitude or criminal convictions. I highlighted this note here where he says Director Pulte even posted on X allegedly matching signatures, which we can pull those signatures up because he didn't do a very good job at cropping them. And
So you were able
one
to
of
find the
them,
documents they came from?
well, yes, but the one of them, can you pull it up? Can you pull? He's posted it like a million times. The picture of the
Oh, the
signatures.
signatures. Yeah, give me 1 second here. I just got to get back to his. I knew we were going to be talking a lot about Pulte's feed, so guess whose feed I had up as a tab? It's almost like, there we go.
Okay, so yeah, so if you scroll in, I mean, zoom in on that by signing borrower, like you could. Okay, so that's the condominium writer right there,
This
right?
one?
The other one is the security instrument and in any writer, which so like I said this to Eli and I or whatever the guy's name is. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't even know what documents those are from, right? Like, so
Mm-hmm.
like it's not her mortgage application. One is a condominium writer. One is
Mm-hmm.
a security instrument, which could be her security deed. It could be her, like, there's several different ones.
Right.
So, like, what is he in the top ones don't even say that. So, like, what is he even showing signatures of? He's not
Right.
even, he doesn't even specific, he just says Atlanta condo primary residence, Michigan condo primary residence. But like
But like what documents? Like these could be
it's
signatures for anything.
right. Like it's so disingenuous to say look at these signatures that she signed on her mortgage documents when one is clearly from the condo writer, one is from whatever
Mm-hmm.
security instrument that is. Like he wasn't even like you didn't crop that out. And I just noticed this because I was reading this and Lowell says that the matching signatures on two property records to suggest a facial contradiction, albeit ignoring when the applications were made, definitions of different document sections, and if adjustments were later made to the mortgages or refinancing.
Well,
So,
that's the thing that we've been talking about this whole time. Is it's like it could
right,
be a refi.
right. And so it's I went and looked and I was like, I went and looked at the signatures again and I was like, holy shit, like these aren't even like they're not the same documents. They're not the same
Mm-hmm.
anything. They're just like pictures of 4 signatures. We don't know where they're from.
Right. They could be literally
We don't
from
know
anywhere.
what she's agreed to. And he keeps posting this over and over and over and over again as if this is the most damning
Smoking
proof.
gun.
Smoking
Yes.
gun.
And it's not even, they're not even signatures from the same documents, clearly. right? They're
And
not.
we don't
they're
even know
not
what
from-
documents related to the
Correct.
Atlanta or Michigan property they're related to.
But that's what, like, for people to just buy this on its face, and the government's arguing that, like, on its face, this is conduct for cause. And I'm like, on its face, you can see right there that they're not even from the same documents.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I can go pull the publicly available documents and pull 4 signatures off of any one of those and be like, here they are. They're all her signature.
Right.
It's got to be fraud. It's ridiculous. Like, the whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. And, like, he has not a fucking clue what he's looking at. And
well, I guarantee that because he has no mortgage experience to begin with. He barely even has housing experience, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
I mean, owning
Well, he said
companies that do
himself,
HVAC. Like,
when he was trying to, like, own the media, and he was like, oh, 2 things. I don't have mortgages and whatever the fuck else he just said. But, like, I'm like,
we
yeah,
have
I
those
know.
clips. We'll get to that.
So you've never actually been through this process. You don't know anything.
Of course not.
You're just posting 4 signatures and trying to just excoriate this person. And it's just like, how is this America and how this is done? Like, I'm not surprised that it's being done by Pulte. Like, we know the kind of person he is. He's
right.
Like,
yeah, this is like Ryan Marshall all over again.
Exactly.
100%.
100%.
Ryan Marshall, Brandon Jones. Like, we can name them all. Like, we can.
Amy for a little bit.
We've seen it. Like,
me when I got my subpoena from him.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
What did you say before him?
I said Amy for a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, so like, it's not surprising that it's from Pulte. It's surprising that it's being endorsed by the fucking president.
Yeah, because it's convenient for him.
It was his idea.
Like,
but anyway,
backfire is going to be exceptional.
Object to the form.
Object to the form.
Exactly.
100%. Okay. So getting back to this, contradictory representations allegedly made by Cook. There you go. Moral turpitude and criminal convictions. Instead, they are unsubstantiated, untested, and unaddressed allegations. If such unfounded allegations were enough to justify removal for cause, then the president could fire a board member over mere policy disagreements, including the timing and amount of an interest rate drop. But as government concedes, that is not the law. At the August 29, 2025 hearing, the government conceded that if it was something that was known at the time, it's much harder to say that it's cause later, because the presumption is that has gone through the political process and a judgment has been made. Governor Cook's alleged contradictions.
From the transcript that we can't see yet.
Yes, I know. It says it's on there, but it says that I think it's like 90 days. Yep. He does that quite a bit. He does pull from that transcript quite a bit. But Governor Cook's alleged contradictions were included in documents disclosed to the White House before she was appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate. During her Senate confirmation process, Governor Cook submitted questionnaires and provided reports that would have revealed the same purported facial contradictions the government now claims are cause to fire her.
Which is true, because Amy, you found them all and backtracked all of it.
Well, yeah. When I don't know, like, he actually cites the form that we can see the financial disclosure, right? We can see that for all of them. But he cites another form, that she would have filled out and things like that. Oh, it's right here in the footnote. So a proper hearing would demonstrate that the government had prior knowledge of the alleged facial contradictions in Governor Cook's documents well before the president invoked them as the basis for her purported removal. As the government rightly acknowledges, such pre-office conduct that was known at the time likely cannot constitute a legitimate basis for President Trump's removal of Governor Cook. So he says, for example, at a proper opportunity to be heard, the SF-86 supplemental questionnaire submitted to the government would show that Governor Cook listed the Michigan address as a primary residence and the Georgia address as the second home. Then Governor Cook's electronics questionnaire for investigations processing, EQIP, submitted would show the Georgia residence listed as her present residence, the Michigan address as her present residence, and the current permanent residence. So she had Georgia as her present residence, Michigan as her present and current permanent residence, and Massachusetts as her present residence, but which is now a second home and rental property. Further, Governor Cook's nominee report, U.S. Office of Government Ethics Form 278E, would list mortgage designations as mortgage on personal residence for each of the relevant properties. If those are facial contradictions, as the government and the president claim, they certainly existed in the material that Governor Cook, it's down here, provided as part of her presidential vetting and Senate confirmations process, for which senators or White House advisors could have inquired of her about any alleged facial inconsistencies.
And it would have been something that possibly could have gotten her not nominated, because we have to remember she was nominated around on straight party lines with it requiring Kamala Harris to be the deciding vote.
Yeah. But even like her exchange with JD Vance during her so she was confirmed, and I think she had to do it again, or she had to go in front of them again, and he was like, if you're reconfirmed, like I'm which you were likely to be, right? Like he's basically saying like you're gonna get in, but I want to ask you these questions about DEI and something else. But he says that a couple of times, like that you'll be reconfirmed.
Mm-hmm.
So then they get into pretext. Pretext is whether by the president or others in his administration can be inferred from the president's targeted ire at Governor Cook, others on the Federal Reserve Board, or the board as a whole. The public record is replete with his comments demanding that the board, including Governor Cook and its other members, lower interest rates or face consequences in 2025. He cites Trump versus Hawaii here in footnote 7. I didn't highlight it. You can look at it. So as the government concedes, generally speaking, the rule is we look at what the president has said and we evaluate it on its own terms. This is from the transcript again. Emphasis added. Here, the president's comments, evaluated on their face, confirmed that his stated reasoning for removing Governor Cook was mere pretext.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes through what Trump has sent out, right? The Fed should cut rates sooner rather than later, all of his stuff that he's put on.
Right, and all the stuff that Pulte has basically said and things like
correct. So they list them all here, right? On Truth Social. His many right here. In many ways, the board is equally to blame. The Fed board has done nothing to stop this numbskull from hurting so many people. In July, only a month before Director Pulte's referral and President Trump's reported removal for cause, so anyway, they show the pattern of that. The court should accept the government's invitation to look at what the president has said and evaluate it on its own terms. And when it does, the evidence of the real reason for Governor Cook's removal should be clear. Notice, we've already gone through that. This is the history of the.
Now, this one was the interesting part, because when they got what I had thought last time we talked was it was going to be really hard for her to show that she has an interest herself that would allow for a preliminary injunction. Because remember, you have to have an injury in fact to be able to get a preliminary injunction. And they go on to say that because of her position, which is, and cite case law to it, that because of her position, she has an inherent property interest in the government position that she has, which I was surprised. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and he does cite case law for that. So, as an officer with for cause removal protection, Governor Cook has property interest in her position. He does go through here, Marbury versus Madison. Of course, we talked about that last week. Marbury makes plain that the critical distinction with regard to a property right is whether the holder of a position serves at will not whether she's an officer or employee. Then he does. Chief Justice Marshall explained, where an officer is removable at the will of the executive, the circumstance which completes his appointment is of no concern, because the act is at any time revocable, and the commission may be arrested. If still in office, it may be arrested if still in office. But when the officer is not removable at the will of the executive, the appointment is not revocable and cannot be annulled. It has conferred legal rights which cannot be resumed.
And this was an interesting one, because whenever people think of Marbury versus Madison, they think, oh yes, the Supreme Court ruling that basically gave the Supreme Court the power to decide if something is constitutional or not. But they forget what Marbury versus Madison was really about, which was, could a president just remove for like setting officers that were not, just executive branch? Because prior president, who, my goodness, that would have been John Quincy. Yeah. Just tried to stuff the box with a bunch of his friends. And so that Madison came in and kicked him out. And so Marbury was one of those people. And he's like, no, I have an inherent right to, this position was given to me by the previous president. You can't take it away.
Yeah. He goes more into that, and then more case law. Like, he is case lawed it up in this joint. So at the hearing, the government asserted that for constitutional purposes, the relevant distinction is not elected versus appointed. It's between officers and employees. That's the distinction that comes up over and over again in the case law. But the government has not cited to a case, either in its briefs or at oral arguments, that even hints at such a distinction. Then we get into the events before President Trump reportedly fired do not amount to proper notice and hearing, right? We already did that. Talks about Pulte. Nor the government's response states that the president was considering removing. So they're basically saying that not even like even when Pulte said he was referring her to the DOJ, the 30 seconds after they said, she needs to resign, like all of it was like, she needs to resign, she needs to resign, she needs to resign. There was never any talk about her being fired.
Now, notice or getting to have the arguments redressed or anything like that. Trump got the information from Pulte and was immediately, she must resign.
Right. And so, and her response to that was, I won't be bullied out of my position, right? Because nowhere in there did he say she must resign or I'll fire her. That came later.
Or she must, like, if we have a discussion and I decide she needs to resign.
Like, let me talk to her and like, we'll figure it out. No, none of that. So, but he's saying basically that even with the initial notice that the government thinks is acceptable from social media, nowhere in there did it say that he was going to fire her. That came later. So yeah, here we go. Worse, the referral letter's equivocal language makes clear that the charges against Governor Cook were nothing more than a set of cherry-picked, cut and paste allegations to try and give the president political cover to remove a board member with whom he has a policy disagreement. The August 15th letter uses words like it appears, potentially committing, and to potentially secure to claim cause for removal. And Director Pulte taking to social media to selectively publish allegedly matching signatures on records and drawing arrows in between them as if that reveals anything at all is nothing more than a partisan stunt to rile up his online followers.
Which he's really good at doing.
Busted.
Yeah. That's Pulte in a nutshell. Is like, if you've seen him for the meme stock days, you know that this normal Pulte tactic.
This is what he does, right? Like
and even people who haven't seen him for that stuff are catching on because
really fast if you read the comments section.
But oh boy,
it's so funny because I see a lot of comments like, even the ones that were like, they're not like you're a political hack or partisan hack. Like they're ones like, what do you do? Like this is your 147th tweet about Lisa Cook. Like, what exactly is your job? Is it to tweet about Lisa Cook? Like,
all he does.
Well, yes, obviously that literally is what Trump wants him to do.
The dude is like a broken fucking record, right? Like, we can run it back. We can run it through Ryan Marshall. We can run it through Brandon Jones. We can run it through Doug Sifu. We can run it.
Doug Sifu, who his problem was that he was on Twitter too much.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
that was
right?
his problem
In his activist letter, he
with his
wrote
$2,000
to
of shares.
right. Yeah. And yeah, he took an activist investor position to stop Doug from tweeting while he was at work.
Right.
So the next one is that, given the opportunity to be heard, we know that. Saying they hardly gave notice that he planned to remove the guy. This is talking about Trump. Planned to remove the governor for cause, and certainly neither that post nor the president's offhand remark to reporters 2 days later that I'll fire her, she doesn't resign, offered any invitation to Governor Cook that she had an opportunity to defend, says here, in a matter of a few days against the allegations before the president would remove her. To be clear, preliminary civil papers seeking emergency relief to preserve her job status are not the place for a proper presentation of the facts or a chance to be heard, nor does the Constitution require Governor Cook to take to social media to keep her job.
Mhm.
That's hard
And
to
I know
argue
you
against.
scrolled kind of past it, but
Yeah.
the President Taft thing is important because that was part of their arguments that
Oh,
the
is it
last
here?
time we had a for cause is when President Taft decided to do a removal, and there was an entire an establishment of a committee of inquiry
Oh, yeah,
that
here
would
you go.
report to the president. And like
Mhm.
there was there's no, what they said, they may go into it more detail further down, but there's no official process of how a for cause hearing is supposed to happen. But
Mhm.
what they're saying is it definitely includes more than just sending fucking tweets.
Yeah, including establishment of a committee of inquiry that included Felix Frankfurter that would report to the president. Right. Is that's what you mean, right?
Mhm.
Describing the elaborate process that Taft
Yeah.
prescribed before he was, yeah. I didn't mean to scroll past that. I know you were looking for that. I'm just going straight to the highlights. So thanks for calling me out.
Yeah, no problem. No, that keeps us on track, but it was one of the things that
No,
I had
because I would have,
remembered. Yeah.
I would have scrolled right past it because I didn't really remember where it was. I knew it was in here. I just didn't remember where it was. So, okay, where we go? Oh, the remaining requirements for injunctive relief favor Governor Cook's request for relief. So the government asserts that the unprecedented removal of a Federal Reserve governor should be treated like a run-of-the-mill employment case. Okay. To the contrary, this case presents a genuinely extraordinary situation in which the circumstances surrounding an employee's discharge, together with the resultant effect of the employee, so far depart from the normal situation that irreparable injury might be found. So, is this the irreparable harm, or did we already
Yeah.
go through that? Okay.
I think
Okay.
we went through most of it, but they're kind of circling back to cover some of the bases that this
Yeah,
type
I
of
think.
employment is different.
Yeah. So then he gets into they were leaning on Dellinger, and he has a good. I don't know if I highlighted it, but he has a good thing for Dellinger here. But the president has indicated he will attempt to confirm Governor Cook's permanent replacement swiftly, stating we have some very good people for that position, and we'll have a majority very shortly. And specifically, and I didn't see that. I didn't see him say this. So, and specifically, the president has identified Stephen Mirren, who just had his confirmation hearing for
Got
his
roasted.
temporary confirmation hearing for 4 months, right? So this confirmation
Mhm.
hearing that just happened is to confirm him for 4 months, and then and one of the things that they were concerned about is that he's on the White House economic advisor,
Mhm.
or he is a White House economic advisor, and he is not resigning from that
Resigning
position.
in order to take the job with
He's taking like I guess a leave of absence, allegedly. So basically he's gonna hold both. And then he said, like, if he is reconfirmed for the entire, it's 14 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he will resign from that position. So but Trump here says, and specifically the president has identified Stephen Mirren, whose nomination to fill a different board seat has already been submitted to the Senate as the viable replacement for Governor Cook. We might switch him to Cook's seat. It's a longer term. So I
Which
didn't even
shows
know he had
the intent. The intent is to
absolutely.
lock in that
Absolutely.
power on the Fed.
Yeah, because Kugler's seat her term was up in 20.
Her term ends at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I didn't see him say that, but I saw it here. So additionally, Dellinger is a non-precedental order that this court has consistently declined to endorse or extend. Almost every court to address the question in the recent slew of wrongful removal cases has agreed that this harm meets the irreparable threshold. That comes from Slaughter v. Trump. I meant to highlight that. I didn't. So I haven't looked at Slaughter v. Trump, so I don't know if they're leaning into Dellinger on that one as well, but he quotes it there. And I don't know if you want to read these footnotes, but okay. Even if the loss of her, okay, so this is about the irreparable harm, I believe. So even if the loss of her position as Federal Reserve Governor was not by itself irreparable harm, the president's for-cause removal of Governor Cook inflicts irreparable reputational and stigmatic harm. In a related context, the DC Circuit has made clear. Okay. I know it's hard to go through these fast because
I know that, like, that's the big problem
I know.
with it, is there's so much that's important.
They're beefy. Like I was saying, this like that the first one was not. This one is. So for irreparable harm, in related context, the DC Circuit has made clear that the combination of an adverse employment action and a stigma or other disability that forecloses the plaintiff's freedom to take advantage of other employment opportunities implicates critical liberty interests. This case is also extraordinary because Governor Cook has been deprived of statutorily and constitutionally guaranteed process. It has long been established that the loss of constitutional freedoms, or even minimal periods of time, unquestionably constitutes irreparable injury. Finally, allowing the president to lock Governor Cook out of her office, even temporarily, would amount to a crack in the foundation of the Federal Reserve's near century of independence. That is the bell that cannot be unrung, even if Governor Cook were ultimately reinstated. Okay, that's it for that one. So the government's case, let's see. We can just skip over the joint and the SIR reply, I guess, if you want to. You want to go through Roth?
Yeah, just go over that, and I can always play catch up because I've got a bunch of these cases that I know I'm going to want to do in depth anyway. So we'll maybe do an extra on that. So just
I know, like as I was highlighting this last night, I was like, he was probably right. We should have done extra because well, and like
it's just
I was like, well, I can just kind of hit the highlights, but then as I started highlighting, I was like, no, we need that, and we need that, and we need that. And I'm like, good fuck.
Now you see the problems that I do every time I do one of those.
So this is the government's case. Dr. Cook fails to grapple with the Supreme Court's century-old precedent, treating removal for cause as a matter of discretion and not reviewable. Reagan v. United States. That's how they're interpreting Reagan. Like they're basically saying that the officer and the fixed amount of time, that's not how they see it. Even if the president's finding of cause were reviewable, Dr. Cook still offers no tenable theory for why apparent mortgage fraud does not qualify. She can urge that result only by reading into the statute words that Congress omitted despite using elsewhere, or by pressing invented categorical rules her counsel previously conceded away. Turning to procedure, Dr. Cook insists she was entitled to notice and an opportunity to be heard, even though no court has ever granted those protections to principal officers. And regardless, she's still unable to explain what further notice she would have wanted, or what she would have told the president at any hearing. All else aside, Dr. Cook continues to completely ignore the Supreme Court's twice repeated holding that in disputes over whether federal officers have been validly removed, the balance of equities favors the government and precludes interim reinstatement. On the merits, Dr. Cook faces two insurmountable hurdles to her claim that the president lacked cause to remove her. First, the Supreme Court has held that such determinations are not subject to judicial review. Second, the president had abundant cause for his action under any standard, especially after accounting for deference and constitutional avoidance. Reagan v. United States held that removals under for-cause provisions that do not specify the cause that suffice are not subject to judicial review. A removal for cause when causes are not defined is a matter of discretion and not reviewable. So they completely leave out. I think they actually maybe they address it in a little bit, but they don't spend a whole lot of time on the fixed term versus like
Mhm.
that, because Lowell's
Well, yeah,
saying the
because it completely
fixed
damages
term
their
and at
argument.
will are two very different things. So that's Lowell's stance on it. So when causes are not defined as a matter of discretion and not reviewable, that rule squarely applies here, dooming Dr. Cook's substantive challenge. He talks about Reagan. In rejecting the petitioner's substantive challenge to his removal, the court rested solely on the fact that removal for cause, when causes are not defined, nor removal for cause provided for, is a matter of discretion and not reviewable. It had nothing to do with the petitioner's lack of a fixed term. Dr. Cook blurs the rationale for rejecting the substantive challenge, with something the court said in rejecting the petitioner's procedural challenge. He gets more into that later on down here. Summing up those decisions, he goes more into, of course, all of that, right, with the fixed term, like some of the fixed terms and things like that. There was one part up here actually that I wanted to. Here you go. He's saying that her contrary theory also makes no sense, that there's no reason to think the president's discretionary determination of what constitutes cause for removal is any more amenable to judicial review simply because that decision concerns an officer with a fixed term of office. That is a non sequitur, and the DC Circuit has confirmed as much by holding that a fixed term of office is a ceiling, not a floor, on the length of service. Severino versus Biden. So a fixed term alone confers no removal protection at all. Kind of the same thing, I think. She points to nothing that calls this long established doctrine into question. Indeed, she ignores entirely that modern Supreme Court precedent has further shielded the president's discretionary determinations from judicial review in cases like Dalton versus Specter. Instead, she argues that judicial review must be available, lest Congress's removal restriction be rendered a dead letter. That does not follow, as cases from Reagan to Dalton illustrate. Not every vague standard of the legislature imposes on the executive is subject to enforcement by the judiciary. Sufficiency of cause. I'm trying to go fast. You want to just pull out what you want to see, or you want me just I
don't know. I just see. I was kind of relying on you highlighting it, so I don't know what's important.
So I mean, it's like their arguments are basically like he can fire at will anybody he wants, and you can't question it. And they continue to argue that. Dr. Cook did not make that claim in her complaint. Oh, so he said he's talking about how the Senate got it all right, so they can't come after the fact and do it. So to the hypothetical at last week's hearing to press a new argument that her mortgage misconduct was not valid cause because it was long known to the government prior to her confirmation. Dr. Cook did not make that claim in her complaint at her opening motion, and it is therefore forfeited. I don't think that's how it works, but okay. He said, regardless, it's manifestly wrong. So this is where he gets into her procedural challenge. He says that it's misguided and futile. The Federal Reserve Act creates no statutory right to notice and hearing. To any constitutional challenge, there is no protected property interest in holding high public office. And anyway, Dr. Cook had notice of the grounds of her removal and has still mounted no fact-based challenge that would have required any hearing. So she's not responding to it. She's not getting down in the mud with the pigs, and therefore that's a strike against her. The property interest, he's saying Dr. Cook's alternative theory that the due process clause entitled her to notice in a hearing before her removal because she had protected property interest in her position as a principal officer of the United States is equally wrong. As Supreme Court precedent establishes, public office is not property. Taylor versus Beckham. Dr. Cook's attempts to distinguish those cases are unpersuasive. More into that, they talk about Crenshaw, which in the SIR reply, Lowell comes back and he's like, they're talking about like a midshipman,
right?
like in Crenshaw,
someone who not only wasn't like just he wasn't an officer of the executive branch. He was basically a military officer, which is a completely different thing. That's highly fucking irrelevant.
Right. Oh, here we go. Similarly, yeah. The naval officer lacked any vested interest or contract. Yeah, it's like a military. So in the end, Dr. Cook cites no case holding that any public officer, let alone a principal officer, has a property interest in her office protected by the due process clause. And she probably concedes neither the tenure nor salary of federal officers is constitutionally protected from impairment by Congress. On notice, so this is about notice, Dr. Cook insists that she did not receive pre-termination notice, but then immediately admits that she learned of the FHFA referral and the president's comments.
Again, I find this argument really dumb because, like,
yeah,
if it like you as a lawyer, you have to give specific notice. You need to either make sure that the mail was delivered to me, that I was given actual like notice of something.
Right.
The fact that a lawyer is arguing that, oh, well, I found about a lawsuit from Amy, therefore that's proper notice, is fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Like I laughed out loud when she was like, "You're not," because like Judge Cobb said, like she's like, "I actually had like a strong reaction to this when I read it in your motion." Like she's like, "You're not actually saying that a tweet constitutes as notice." And his answer was, "Absolutely, I am." like that she like he couldn't believe she was asking him that. Like, are you kidding? Absolutely, I am. Like, I was like, I laughed out loud. I was like, no way. Yeah. On notice, Dr. Cook insists that she did not receive. Okay, I already read that. Notice. What is it? There's no real question that actual notice more than satisfied Dr. Cook's due process rights. Notice that is transparent and public is no less constitutionally adequate. I disagree.
You have to go through specific points. Like you can use public notice, like say, doing it like a postage in a newspaper article, but that's after you've tried everything else to get them proper notice. Like it's way down.
It's not
there
a fucking tweet or truth or whatever. Like that's crazy. The only missing fact is whether Dr. Cook acted intentionally or negligently, which did not matter to the president's cause of termination, and which fact is in her sole possession anyway. On opportunity to be heard, Dr. Cook argues that the president did not specifically invite her to push back on the charges. The reply 24, no invitation was needed for a principal officer of the United States who is told she will be fired based on apparent mortgage fraud to defend herself to the president. And the court should not place itself in the position of micromanaging the way the president communicates with the most senior level of federal officers.
I can't. The president has unitary executive. The president has all the power. The rest of you are just peons of the government that does the president's will.
But then he says here, anyway, Dr. Cook did not need to take to social media. Her response could have been issued in any way she preferred, public or private. So you're going to argue that social media is sufficient notice and then say she could have responded in any way. Like, I don't know. I'm just like,
yeah.
Where's the meat of this here? Like, where does this end?
Yeah.
Like, how do you argue that this is sufficient? And, but she didn't need to do that. She could have come groveling to the president on her hands and knees. Like, anyway, the reality is that Dr. Cook quite intentionally said nothing and is quite intentionally still saying
You
nothing.
are threatening to charge her with a crime.
2 weeks and dozens of pages of briefing later. Before securing that extraordinary relief, she should at least be required to explain what she would have said and why it might have mattered. Otherwise, any purported due process violation was harmless, and at the very least, did not impose the type of irreparable harm needed for extraordinary injunctive relief. So he's saying that the equitable factors alone require denying the motion. Dr. Cook's motion fails for another independent reason. Last week's opposition brief explained to the Supreme that the Supreme Court orders in Wilcox and Boyle are binding precedent on the application of the equitable factors and thus require denial of Dr. Cook's TRO motion. In both cases, the court held that the government faces greater risk of harm from an order allowing a removed officer to continue exercising the executive power than a wrongfully removed officer faces from being unable to perform her statutory duty. Claiming that her being there is causing more harm than it's causing her. So even looking at Dr. Cook's claimed irreparable harm alone, her demand for an injunction fails under established law. Being unable to carry out her obligations to the American people is not cognizable irreparable harm, even if her job is very important. She tries to distinguish her situation by claiming that her removal involves reputational and stigmatic harm. But those harms are attributable to the new relevant. I mean, I'm like going too fast. Revelations of Dr. Cook's misconduct, not to her for cause removal basis on those revelations. Reinstatement would not erase the revelations or restore her reputation, nor should it. Which she adamantly refuses to address the charges in any way.
Bold statement,
And
Cotton.
Huh?
A bold statement, Cotton.
I know, right? Like, really? That you want to do that? Okay. In any event, the law does not support a reputational exception. The only case she cites is O'Donnell versus Berry, addresses the framework for when an at-will employee can bring a due process challenge to an adverse employment action. Says nothing about irreparable harm or injunctive relief. The sole exception is Slaughter versus Trump, where a divided panel declined to grant a stay only because the constitutionality of the Federal Trade Commission Act's for cause removal protection had been upheld by controlling and directly on point Supreme Court precedent, which the panel concluded affects the equitable calculus. The only Supreme Court precedent directly relevant here, namely Reagan, undercuts Dr. Cook's claims. The Solicitor General also intends to seek Supreme Court relief today in Slaughter, which we saw Friday, right? Was that Friday? Yeah. Because he's still trying to fire her.
Right.
Indeed, if anything, an injunction reinstating Dr. Cook to office is even less warranted on her procedural claim because she has made no showing that an opportunity to be heard would conceivably have changed the president's determination. An opportunity to tell one side of the story only matters if one has a side of the story to tell, and Dr. Cook has given no indication that she does. At most, her procedural claim would entitle her to an opportunity to tell the president why she should be retained, an opportunity she did not need a court to impose, and that she has failed to take advantage of for 2 weeks and counting. Look at this conclusion. Court should deny the president of relief.
I mean, that's usually how it can.
And that's how it ends.
But yeah.
Sorry that took so long. And then
1 hour later.
I know, 1 hour.
Well, this is why a lot of those readings go into extras.
But yeah, and then he filed a cert reply pointing out how they're misinterpreting Reagan. So I don't know if this just comes down to like a battle of no, this is what I think it says. No, this is what I think it says, and like how that really like all turns out. But that's where we're at.
Yeah, we'll get to Marantz later in the show, but I don't see any disagreement there. I don't think. He's a grifter. I don't know. Maybe fraud's a little too strong of a word, but he's definitely, I don't We did have some extra stuff. Let me see if I can switch this around because this is all sorts of janky here. 1 second. So we got around the same during this period of time. We also had the Pulte press conference where he got told to basically, hey, Bill, shut the fuck up. I mean, he didn't do that very well, but the press conference thing went away. I have a feeling because like what he was threatening to act that he had other documents that he wanted to present. And I get the very big feeling that a lot of people in the Trump administration are starting to realize that that Pulte's trying to make this about him, like he always fucking does. And they're not interested in that because it only makes Lisa Cook's case better the more Pulte runs his stupid fucking mouth. Like,
well, he was going to do that on the steps of the courthouse where this judge is, right?
oh Jesus! Like that
he was
is
just going to do it in
also
front of her residence where people are.
No, he was going to do it in front of the courthouse. So
Well,
I think what he was like, if I know Pulte, they told him that Ed
that could be
Martin probably said.
intimidating.
I think Ed Martin probably told him that he was going to open a criminal investigation because that's really the news that came out. And I think he was going to stand on the steps of the courthouse where Judge Cobb is and announce that Ed Martin's opening a criminal investigation.
Was that his actual quote? He said it like that? Like, damn, you better sure know how to. Like, not,
yeah,
you damn sure.
You know who doesn't know how to fill out a mortgage application? Bill Pulte.
Bill Pulte.
His what is it? Dad and stepmother. Did you see that?
We'll get to that.
But yeah, so that's what I think he was going to do. He was just gonna.
Oh my God, why does it?
He was going to break that news on the steps of the courthouse as some symbolic gesture of we're going to open a criminal investigation, as if that means
anything, because they haven't charged anything. It's just they're opening it. We knew that was going to happen. Okay.
There's like, again, unless she has defaulted on her loans, there's nothing criminal, nothing. And he's listing out all this like tax fraud and wire fraud and this fraud and that fraud. And he's like trying to pile on a bit. Trying to pile on to make it like worse and worse for her. Like, bro, you put out that you sent a letter to the DOJ, and that's where your shit should have ended.
Yeah. Well, even if she didn't default, I'm not saying that she got it fraudulently, but even if she didn't default,
for sure,
that doesn't matter. Like, if she got it fraudulently, it doesn't matter if she defaults or not. Like, because that's one of the things that Trump was trying to say about that's one of the things that Trump was trying to say about all of his loan fraud that they did, was that they didn't default on it. And they were saying, it doesn't matter. Even though you didn't default, you were lying about like how much things were worth to be able to get cheaper loans and blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't matter that you paid it all off. It was still fraud. So I don't think that matters.
It does for criminal. They weren't trying him on criminal charges.
For the loan fraud? Didn't they do both?
No, that's civil.
Oh, well, whatever.
Yeah, so I'm saying for it to be criminal, there would have to be damages. There would have to be
an injury to a property interest. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Which would be default as far as mortgages go.
Yeah.
So maybe they tried to use that in the civil case, but we have to look at.
Or if there was some change in like the interest rate, which is what they keep trying to hang on, but she paid a higher than
doesn't matter. Your mortgage rate, whenever, it was her the 15-year average was 2.27, like over the entire year, and I have to look up 30, but she paid over the national averages for every single one she had.
Because that was the other argument that, and I think that might have been to what Platinum was saying with the whole Trump situation. Fraud. Civil, there you go. Because the other argument that Alina I tried to bring up was deprivation. Oh, the interest rates were no, they weren't lower, dude.
They weren't.
So there's no deprivation.
Right. She didn't get lower, and like there's no argument. Like every turn they make, they turn left and it's a wall. They turn right and it's a wall. And they know that, which is why he continues to text or to tweet about it.
Yeah.
Because once we dug in more, we found more. And anytime we find more, whether it's on a criminal suspect or otherwise, we try to report it to people. So we reported it to the DOJ. She said
What
that
a
she had a
strange
second
balding
home, but then in
pattern.
her disclosures to the U.S. government, she called it an investment in rental property. Investments
Typically,
in
it's like
rental
both sides,
properties
right?
are
Like under the
different than
recession.
Or well, like
Well, I
it's
think
like
just
it's
'cause it's
either
like-
on both sides or it's straight up the middle.
Get it
It
like
probably
one
is on
side,
both
but
sides.
but it doesn't.
I mean, it might be the comb overs hiding the other
Yes,
side.
absolutely the comb over.
I
Which
don't think
is-
so, because like if you look at him head on, like in his interviews, it's not. I've looked at it. It's not as bad. Like it's a weird.
I mean, Amy is the expert, though.
Yeah, it's a weird balding pattern. Yeah, like that lady at the Phillies game who took that ball. Like I'm not even mad she took the ball from the kids. I'm mad at her fucking hair.
Yeah, that haircut is
It's not even the haircut. Like the
the
haircut,
color.
the color. Like
Cool.
I'm just like, that's a
Who
crime.
did that?
I don't know who did that to her.
Yeah, she's referring it for criminal charges right now.
But yeah, like
we're
her.
referring
But
Bill Pulte's hair for
I
criminal
mean, when she
charges.
got that haircut, I feel like she was like, I'm about to make this happen.
Or maybe her hairdresser just doesn't like her very much.
Pulte needs him.
Pulte needs him. Oh my god, yes.
homes. And back in that time frame, 2021, where she took out these 3 mortgages,
I mean,
there were
it's
different
like
rates
a-
for these
like a-
different types of classifications. So it's very concerning, and the DOJ will have to figure out what to do.
Helicopter.
I think it's
For
a
her to
sun
do that.
too. Like beating off of it.
Bro, that
What's
is
really
not.
bad about this is you can't hear the questions that are being asked him. Like C-SPAN, get your reporter a microphone or something.
Oh, where have we seen that before? Was it Pulte Event 1 when they had no mics on the audience?
I have no clue. You'd have to ask the president that. My main focus is on getting rid of mortgage fraud and finding mortgage fraud no matter who commits it. If they commit it and we determine that it's within our purview to prosecute it, we will refer it over to the DOJ.
Well, then why? Like we're going. I think that was the part of this that I
Sean
wanted
Duffy.
because we've got a whole list of people that that need referrals. Because in the here it is, boom, the ProPublica article where there's 3 people in Trump's cabinet who have the same sort of situation going on.
Correct.
So what are you fucking talking about, bro?
The response from them on that was hilarious.
Yeah, this one.
No, in the ProPublica article, they actually reached out and they got a statement from them. Their retort back about like, hey, why is the cabinet members have the same thing? Great.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like Bill got actually asked this question that there was 3 people including 3 people from the cabinet and Ken Paxton. He says, unless it's been made public, I'm not going to comment onto it. It's like it was made public. And even still, why won't you mention it? Is it because you know that this is all politically motivated and open your stupid fucking mouth would get you in a lot of trouble? Is that maybe what's going on here? Just maybe?
Maybe.
I mean, unless I'm seeing it, and then do you see him post? I think he posted yesterday. They don't want me to show who I'm referring next.
Yeah, so he's got other people he's going after or has been told to go after.
I bet you it's not them.
Oh, I bet 100%. Oh, speaking of which, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you did mention this one. Now, do you want to give some... 1 second here. Let me get to the spot I wanted.
Why do we think he doesn't brush his hair?
How all this came about, as well as the merits.
Oh, there's so much gaslighting in this. But you can probably just play Andrew's part.
This last part is what I'm doing. It's the one where you say dark...
Where the mask flips.
Dark Sith Pulte appears.
Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Itself, obviously, of why she hasn't defended herself, and it's a question we continue to ask. I have a slightly different question, which is about Jay Powell.
Hasn't come out either. It's bizarre.
Well, that's where I was going to go next, which is, what is your view of Jay Powell in this situation? He obviously didn't fire her on his own. He is, interestingly, Lisa Cook has now sued not just the president, but interestingly, Jay Powell personally and the Fed board.
She has to.
I don't know, but I'll tell you.
Well, just to help him out there, she had to get the injunction. That's technically who had the authority. Like yes, the president has the ultimate authority, but the person that'd be executing that is
Jerome Powell wanted her to.
Yeah.
I think by the day he's creating cause. Whether the president does something about that or not, I don't know. But
cause, you believe that the president should fire him for cause for?
I would just.
So that's a threat, right? He's sending a signal to Jerome Powell saying, like, this is what's going to come next. That's a threat. That's a threat to Jerome Powell. Every day he lets
Just say
this
to
go
you-
on, he's creating cause. Yeah, listen closely. And then when the girl comes back on is when he and they're still pushing him and he breaks.
That it is very abnormal that you have this type of conduct of a sitting governor. They still have her on the website. As far as I'm concerned, she still thinks that she's employed. There is a sitting order from the President of the United States who has the authority to do this. And I don't know why Jay Powell would do it. I thought he was I've always thought he's a smart guy.
Well,
it doesn't make sense to me.
But he's being sued and is probably waiting to see how the courts decide on this too.
We all know what's going on. I mean, we all know what's going on with Jay Powell.
What is going on with Jay Powell? Just so because I don't think
Jay Powell doesn't like our president. He went and he lowered rates. You know, I mean.
See, I didn't even get into that part. Are you fucking kidding me?
Into policy stuff now, and I like to keep the legality different from policy. But look, to say this isn't politicized and that this isn't an independent Fed, look at what he did the last minute.
Fuck right off, dude.
He says it.
Whatever.
Yeah, so they were pressing him. They were pressing him on.
And he immediately
how'd you get this? How'd you get this? How do you get this? And then he's like, mask slips, and he's like, "Oh, come on, we all know."
He's always been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then accuse them of that of which you are guilty of.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it didn't stop there. Like, the big thing about Pulte this entire week, into this weekend even, is he just kept posting shit that, like, dude, do you realize what's coming out of your fucking mouth? So after that, he immediately starts threatening credit unions.
Yeah, that's where, because our loans are through credit
network. And we should regulate.
Yeah.
Just take a closer look at them. Like, do you not comprehend that you're now in a government office and the shit that comes out of your mouth could affect people besides your stupid little fucking world you live in?
And this isn't Pulte Group where you can just start slinging mud at everybody, right?
Right.
Oh, talk shit about his aunts, talk shit about anyone and everyone, and so now he's gonna, because I think the Michigan one is maybe through the credit union that she had at MSU, and then the other one I believe is a credit union as well. So so now we're going to target the credit unions, right?
And then of course he says the quiet part out loud that we also went after probably the other one too for the same fucking reason, and that's why she bounced, because it came out what was it specifically about? Because there was some other home related stuff with
so
her,
hers was there was something with I think a tax. You'd have to pull up the article there. He talks about it. It was something fairly minor. She doesn't have mortgages on either of the homes that she has, so I think it was just probably a clerical error or something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure if he intended that to be that she is smarter than Cook. I take that to mean she was smarter than Cook in that she
stepped down.
We threw this down in front of her and she quietly walked away.
Yeah.
That's how I take it to mean.
Oh yeah, that's how I read it too. I don't know about you, Platinum. If that's how you read that post, of that she was smart enough to,
Wait, go back, because he says, what does he say? Doesn't he say insofar or something?
Insofar as it sounds like it's different from Cook's alleged mortgage fraud.
So yeah, so I don't know if he's trying to say that she's smarter than her not having alleged mortgage fraud, or if he is saying she's smarter than her because we tried this with her too and she walked away.
Yeah. Of course, we got your favorite, Mr. Fish Dick, messing up everything.
I cannot even listen to him. I really can't. It's awful.
Yeah. So told the federal judge that her mortgage happened before Biden appointed her, and that's not relevant. That's not exactly
Meanwhile,
what she said.
let's look at the timeline of events, right? So so Pulte goes after Jerome Powell. He's writing up the for-cause letter for the president that he then, to fire Jerome Powell, that he then references in a cabinet meeting. Then, oh wait, the remodeling of the buildings are legitimate, so we can't get him out. We tried to on national TV embarrass him with another building. That didn't work. We got Kugler to quit, right? Because she didn't want to deal with what Lisa Cook's dealing with. So then we make these allegations against Lisa Cook. Guess who wrote a 4-clause letter laying out how the president has cause to fire Lisa Cook? James Fishback.
Really?
100%.
You know, or
it's on his timeline.
And this is the guy who filed a fucking amicus brief?
Correct. So that's the way that it. So it didn't the 4-cause. You know, here's how you do it. Trump didn't come from Pulte on Lisa Cook. It came from him.
Also, I'd like to take this point to remind everyone that he is a college dropout who fudged his credentials. Make sure to retweet this post at Mr. Fishdick if you want to be blocked by him. Let's hear.
So yeah, I guess that's what. Like, so they're like, oh, well, he wasn't even thinking about cause, right? Until Fishsticks comes along and tells them how to do it. The same way that Pulte
I like
did
yours
it
better, calling him fish sticks instead of fish dick.
the same, the exact same way that Pulte did when they wanted to fire Powell. What a crazy coincidence!
Also, came out yesterday. A scoop by Amy finding this for us. That turns out that the Pulte family really likes not mortgage fraud, but tax fraud or tax evasion. Well, basically taking the homestead benefit on 2 properties in 2 different states.
Yeah.
Bill did not like that one because he was pretty heated after that article came out, basically threatening you don't want to see what mortgage fraud we have waiting for you. We're going to get more people, and it's just like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, and like he says that, like, 1, I don't have mortgages, and 2, I don't do fraud.
Oh, yeah. Well, we would like to have a discussion again about those PPP loans again, where you just magically
this is the problem. This is the problem when you kick a fucking hornet's nest. Like, if you are going to come for people like this, the way that he's doing it, you better be fucking perfect. You better be fucking perfect. And you can't cry about it when the media starts to dig up all your shit. You can't cry about that. You chose to do it this way. It didn't have to be done this way. It shouldn't have been done this way.
In fact, if he really wanted to do it the right way, he could have filed his complaint to the DOJ and not said a mumbling fuck, and the same results would have happened.
Correct.
But he wanted to have all the glory, and now he's crying that other people are throwing shots at him.
Yep. He wanted to be Trump's guy. He wanted it to be the biggest news story ever. So he called all of the fucking bimbos at Fox News and said, oh, will you talk about me? And can I be on your show? And and let me go on TV and argue with all these people. And he said, it's the biggest story in the world. Like, you asked for it. You don't get to.
Well, it was the same thing with the Brandon Jones. He didn't file the lawsuit until after he made a whole press conference about it, and then made a website about it, and then filed the lawsuit.
And then once we started covering it, suddenly it was a fucking problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, you don't get to cry about it. And now all your shit's gonna come out, because now it's not just us. Now it's just not us reporting on Brandon Jones and
right
that whole thing,
making you mildly embarrassed.
It's the fucking media who has way more access to way more
resources and way more people.
So brace yourself, Betty. The big dick of the fucking media is coming.
Yeah.
And that's on you, bro. You did it this way. Nobody made you.
Speaking of things that the media will probably be cluing on to eventually, it's the case that we have with the Federal National Mortgage Association on civil rights discrimination employment basis. They kicked the can down the road to the 16th, so that is the new deadline. Hopefully we will be seeing not another extension, but actually be hearing something back as to why they decided to just open fire. What was it, 40 people, Amy?
Was this the Indian people?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Fannie Mae, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it 40? Whatever it was.
Yeah. But so that extension was kicked out to
I think it was 100 total, but I think only
40 of them sued.
This many are suing, right? Yes, it was the targeted attack on the Indian ethnicity.
Yeah.
And then defamation as well. Was that the defamation, or was that
no? The defamation one's a different one. That's the state level lawsuit.
Okay.
So I don't have court listener to just like keep tabs on that every day. In fact, I have it set to where it notifies me. I've got so many cases I'm being notified on now. It's just
yeah. Pulte keeps going. He's going to have as many cases as Trump. It's exciting.
I know, right? So how'd you guys think about the jobs numbers that came out this week? Because the market sure did not like it.
As soon as I saw that they had were having technical difficulties, I was like, this is going to be really bad fucking news. And it was.
Yeah. And we haven't even gotten
zero DTE SPY puts at 935.
It started like it was going to rally back up, and then it just said nope and crashed.
Of course, it wasn't going to.
Now they're going to
everybody is not like everyone is not hold up. Retail investors. There's plenty of people who look at that and go, "Oh fuck, we need to take profit here." Plus, September is historically a bad month, so
yeah,
I'll be right back.
We also have unemployment up at the highest level since 2021, and for the first time, also since 2021, we now have more unemployment than we do have job openings. Fantastic. Awesome.
Wow, totally shocking. No one saw this coming.
Construction down in the toilet. Like, we can go over all sorts of charts and graphs about how bad.
Shocking again.
But you know what's great about bad unemployment numbers is it finally gets the president to start talking about Epstein. Anything to not talk about the shitty fucking job numbers.
Is he trying to say it's a hoax or something stupid again? Or
no, he's
what's happening? Oh, he did. This is merely another Democrat hoax. Literally, look, that's what he's saying.
Really? Because I just saw that it was
in big letters, HOAX.
So basically, he's going back to talking about Epstein being a hoax again to not have to talk about how shitty his economy is right now. Oh, fantastic. What also is hilarious is quotes from this presser he had with all the tech bros. We'll get to that in a second, where he basically said,
thank you, Mr. President. Tomorrow we have a jobs report coming out, the first since the BLS commissioner.
Oh, so this is before it came out.
The first since the BLS commissioner who you fired won't be there. A lot of people will be turning to you to see if you believe the data that's released. Can you commit to saying the data will be credible?
The number, I don't know, they come out tomorrow, but the real numbers that I'm talking about are going to be whatever it is, but will be in a year from now when these monsters.
A year from now, just whatever you do, just don't look at the storm outside the window. Once the storm's passed, for good. Let's see here. So we also got one last thing on the whole job stuff.
Wait, was that the AI meeting, or did you go over that already? Did you hear the Zuckerberg hot mic moment?
Oh, we'll get to that. Okay, don't worry, we're not quite there yet.
Okay,
but yeah, that was from that. We got news that the new person being nominated to the Bureau of Statistics and Labor by Trump had an anonymous Twitter account filled with sexually degrading attacks on Kamala Harris, anti-gay slurs, and other far-right conspiracy theories. Par for the course. Like, if you're
I know, he didn't even need it to be anonymous. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like, you know.
Like, okay. Least surprising thing so far.
My joke when this came out was you get one case of Pulte tax fraud and a side and get an order of a bigoted Trump official half off.
BOGO.
So yeah, like the whole thing here is just basically a stream of them basically lying their way through it. My new favorite punching bag, Howard Lutnick, says the numbers will get better once you take out the people that are just trying to create noise against the president. Ah, yes. If you eliminate the people who are saying the bad things, then only the people left are the ones that are saying good things. This makes perfect sense in a democratic state.
like,
We're not a totalitarian, shitbag hole right now. Totally
why is
not.
everything an attack against the president? Like,
we live in a dictatorship now. Anything that's bad
they're
news
just really
is
playing it up, playing up this whole fucking Trump's the victim thing. Like,
it's like meme
stock stuff.
It's meme country. That's
meme
what
country.
It is. Like, you're not allowed to say anything bad because then it's an attack.
That's FUD. It's FUD.
Yeah, the numbers are FUD.
The numbers are FUD.
Like, just start throwing around chill.
Absolutely. Give it.
Probably you're getting there. This is, I believe, what you were talking about with the hot bike of. Oh, I'm sorry. What number were you wanting?
He's like, I don't even know what number to say.
Would you say over the next few years?
Oh gosh, I think it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, at least $600 billion through 28 in the U.S. Yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it's significant.
That's a lot.
600 billion. Like, we get to learn later that he did pull the number out of his ass. But
I was gonna say, do you have the hot mic moment?
Sorry, I wasn't ready to do a for announcement. He said I wasn't sure what number you wanted to go with.
Oh wow.
I wasn't sure which number you wanted me to go with.
I wasn't sure what number you wanted me to bullshit out there, so I just kind of made it up. Sorry, Donald.
So just make sure it's higher than NVIDIA's.
This is a cartoon. It's a fucking cartoon.
It's absolute fucking
ridiculous.
Absolute cinema.
So we're in tariff town now because we cannot escape tariffs. We know that gold, tungsten, uranium are now being exempted, but not silicon. We're trying to build up the tech industry here in America, but I guess silicon does not get tariff clemency. It gets to live in the dead zone, I guess. Total tariff revenue could reach 300 billion, and every 300 billion adds, like, this is just proof that they're trying to use tariffs to juice their shitty GDP numbers at this point.
Trump says something like $17 trillion, and I'm like, where are you getting that number from, sir?
He wasn't ready.
So now we got the new favorite. I know your favorite, Amy, is talking about how basically the administration runs their foreign trade and economic and business policy.
Look at this guy's face.
Like the fucking mob. So here we go. Actually, I should probably turn this up on the speed a little bit here so we're not spending as long.
Through how this kind of played out and what the specific details are in this agreement.
All right, so the Japanese, in order to buy down their tariff rate, so they had a 25% rate, and to buy down that rate, they have given President Trump $550 billion for President Trump to direct where and how he wanted to invest it in America. And if you think about that, that's 0.5% of GDP growth per year for the rest of his term, given to Donald Trump by the Japanese in order to build in America for our national and economic security. It is just the most fun working for Donald Trump. I mean, this deal is off the rails.
Just the most fun. He's just having the best day of his fucking life, guys.
We're just having the most fun
out there. This is like Zach Morris stuff. This is like he is Trump Zach Morris. We're just extorting companies out there. It's so exciting, guys. I know I have it set on the Twitch side to politics because we're in this wonderful zone about where economics and finance collide with politics. We don't really have an opinion. Well, I have a personal opinion, but it's not really germane to the subject of the show as to the whole send fucking nuclear submarines and sinking boats out.
I mean, is anybody surprised? Like, he literally basically threatened war on Chicago today.
Yeah. That was a thing.
Like, he said something like, we're about to introduce them to the Department of War.
Yeah. Like, you're going to see why it's called the Department of War, I think was the exact quote.
Yeah. Like, does Venezuela surprise you?
No. This one was like, okay, so trying to bring all the industry back from offshore to onshore. Okay, and so Hyundai and LG has brought it onshore. They have these factories in the U.S. in Georgia that have Korean workers.
Did you say LG? Do you mean South Korea?
Yeah, they're South Korean company.
No, I know that, but what do you? Oh, LG, the company. Okay, I'm sorry.
has a factory in Georgia.
Yes, I got it. I'm following you now.
That has South Korean workers. Some of them have proper visas. Some of them were not able to get them because of dealing with the government. I mean, you've been to the DMV, have you not? And so they send an ICE raid down there to basically take all the South Korean workers and deport them. Because, fucking...
it's very interesting that they do this and, deport all these people and nothing happens to the company. I mean, obviously they hired them knowing that they were not eligible to be hired in America, and they're still doing it, but nothing to the company. Like, whatever.
If you my thing is like, at what stage of it is it? Because as far as we know right now, it's just ICE trucks pulled up, and some of them didn't have their papers, some of them did. Doesn't matter. They rounded them all up anyway. Like
500 people. Well, 450 something people.
Yeah. And at what point are you just making the costs to do business in America impossible? Like if
it already is.
Didn't have their papers.
It was
like
before.
Sure.
Said it was before.
Right. And then the tariffs are making it even harder. Literally.
So like you want the jobs to come onshore, okay, and you want them to be American workers, but at some point someone has to train them which is why they brought the South Korean workers in, to train or to have at least someone in to fill the gaps if they couldn't find any workers. And then the surprise ICE Inquisition shows up, and at what point is a company just going to be like, oh, fuck it, we're just not going to do business in America at all?
Right.
Fuck you. We also, like last week, I think we briefly talked about the judgment that came
manufacturing jobs are down like 42,000 since April.
And this is not fucking helping it. So we had the tariff select, the select on the IEEPA tariffs. So the government pulled out a filing recently on this, and they're like, well, I don't think we'll be able to refund the tariff money we took. No take backsies. We did this thing that was concluded to be unconstitutional and illegal power used by the executive branch, but go fuck yourself, I guess. Sure, whatever. Did you happen to catch this one? Because again,
oh my God, yeah. And there's so many stupid things about this, but like the fact that he's just calling it Tylenol versus acetaminophen is just like even more stupid. Like if I was Tylenol, I'd be suing the shit out of him.
all I see is that this is the perfect time for a dip buy, because like, let's be honest here. You're like, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely, those are not.
It's fucking Tylenol.
Right.
Like,
well, it's
like, even if they make some stupid anti-vaxxer comment that it's linked to autism, which, by the way, autism is majority, the issue is genetics when it comes to autism. And in case it wasn't perfectly fucking clear by the science, vaccines have absolutely not a fucking iota to do with it.
Yep.
Like, these people in power now that are making policy are the kind of people that when I grew up, you pointed and laughed at these motherfuckers. They were so fucking stupid. Like, but now they're making policy and causing stocks to tank by like 15% almost, like in one day. So
Kenvue. I never even heard of that company before. All right.
Yeah, that's the company that owns Tylenol, apparently.
I did not even know. I figured like Procter & Gamble probably owned it.
I mean, that's a pretty safe bet with some of these. It's like,
And good to know, though, because if yeah, that would definitely be an opportunity because
so we usually badmouth pretty hard NASDAQ for being like Pink Sheets Plus or OTC Plus. But apparently they're getting a little tighter with their scrutiny that comes to these like BTC treasury companies and adding new rules to that. Apparently that caused strategy to tank.
What are the rules? Do you know? Because I did not hear this. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I had heard about it, but I hadn't gotten the chance.
From what I heard, I thought that
isn't GNS a Bitcoin strategic reserve company?
Yeah. But didn't they make it so that the exchanges could be selling crypto now? This past week?
I have no idea about that. Like, you mean like NASDAQ and the New York Exchange could just straight trade crypto?
That's what I thought I read. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I don't know what that is about. That's something completely different. But yeah, I know that Tony De Niro did a video on it. I'm going to have to watch that at some point. But yeah, I know we previously talked about this video, which was done by Crypto Critics Corner, about the Winklevoss twins and how much of they're not any better.
Kenvue was a spinoff.
But
they can sell futures contracts against their holdings.
Yeah. But apparently Gemini is about to be listed on NASDAQ.
Oh my.
This is a company that to go back and as a reminder that Riverboat gambled with fucking Riverboat fucking gambled with people's money with their earn token and lost people millions of fucking dollars. So like what? Like again, just more proof that for one step backward, one step forward, NASDAQ goes 5 fucking steps in the other direction and solidifies why we call them OTC plus. Nope, that's not really important. Oh yeah. So in the realm of executive compensation, remember when Bill Pulte was with the meme stock crew and was talking about how wild and obscene executive compensation was? Unless you were talking about his boy fucking Elon Musk, who now got his new pay package from Tesla valued at $1 trillion fucking dollars.
Totally normal.
Aside from the fact that the company is shady as shit, well, most of the companies he touches are kind of shady as fucking shit, but that's neither here nor there. But like, even if they were as hot and cool as like people think they are,
or he tries to say that they are,
is absurd, and all of it comes at the expense of shareholders. Well, either way it does, because if it's taking as cash off the balance sheet, that affects the share value. But in this case, it's dilutive. So because he gets paid in shares. That's the entirety of his compensation. So this is why he left Delaware and went to Texas, because he didn't want to be held accountable for rinsing his shareholders for cash to line his own fucking pocket. Yeah. One thing I did mention last time we talked, that the government, the SEC had filed for a motion for summary judgment against Elon Musk and his whole Twitter purchase thing. What I had forgotten was that this came also slightly after Elon Musk had also filed for a motion to dismiss. So we've got dueling dispositive motions going on here, and the court seems to have denied the current brief scheduling order until you guys clean up this mess as to how we're going to deal with your dueling motions. Get back to us on that, please. So that's where all of that is. You know what we haven't talked about? Well, I think we have talked about him recently, but you know what we haven't talked about? His political party. It's back, guys!
Oh, God.
And he had an 8-minute speech, which I'm pretty sure is as...
This is Andrew Tate. the leader of the Bruv Party and the future Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Okay,
join me,
first of all,
if you will, for a quick trip down memory lane.
I don't know why the pause button wasn't working there. Thanks, X. But we already had this discussion last time Joey was here when we were talking about his stupid fucking political party. Like, he's not going to get enough seats in the electoral, in the body of parliament to be able to get prime minister. Like, it's not like the United States where it's
like akin to Conor McGregor in Ireland. Like, what are people doing?
And first of all, I don't think, and second of all, I don't think we need to worry too much, because a poll just came out as to like his demo numbers in the UK, and the Times and the Sunday Times did a poll for ages 16 to 17-year-olds, and a negative 37 approval rate. And I assume that that's supposed to be
but they're not voting.
Well, this is his target demo is like little man children.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true.
So if he can't even get the man children vote, how is he supposed to get the macho machismo vote?
Yeah.
Also, in case it wasn't clear, also anti-Semitic. I don't think that needed to be explained, but this was his most recent post where he said that the Jews were trying to buy him out. So
what? That's shocking.
Also, if you remember, in California, the criminal charges were dropped, and there was a lawsuit filed by, what was it, his former girlfriend or something like that he had in California. Apparently, that was settled with Andrew Tate agreeing to a 3-year restraining order and can't possess firearms in the U.S. So maybe that was something. Yeah. So yeah. Good. I don't think you should have firearms at all. So that works out for me.
Great picture that they have of him.
I know. The Rolling Stones doing the Lord's work. I'm gonna have to bookmark so I can use that for a thumbnail next time I need to put them on. But we're finally to the part of the real boy news that I wanted to get to for sure before we got to our meme stock stuff. And me and Amy listened to this hearing. I don't think you did, Platinum, correct?
Mm-mm. I did not.
This, unfortunately, no recording of it, but there was a live stream.
Did I try to? I think I tried. I think Amy put the number like in a chat somewhere, and I called and it wouldn't go through. Like, I tried calling the number and then I put the code in and it just kept. Was it Trump? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was I had the same problem where I had to ring through a couple times because the line was so busy with people trying to get in on that.
Yeah, this was just like a streamable link that this hearing was on.
I wish I did watch it. So you guys watch it? Okay, so tell me what happened.
Well, yeah,
okay, tell me.
But so what basically happened was it sounded pretty much like Zach Morris is fucked. First of all, the government got up and it did. At first, like, the government went first because they are the appellants. And it sounded like at first that like the Fifth Circuit had some tough questions for them. And it sounded like, well, maybe this isn't going to be some walk in the park. But then when it moved to Morrison Cruz lawyers, and like literally the first like opening sentence, immediately one of the panel judges was interrupting. I'm like, oh.
So their biggest thing is that Dan Knight pleaded guilty, and he kind of pleaded guilty right off the rip. And they're like, he pled guilty to this, like pled guilty to the allegations that are against the other people, right? And the state was like, well, or I mean the
defense, the appellees above.
Yeah, he was basically like, well, that was, we don't know that he really understood it, kind of like trying to make excuses for it because they're saying, look.
Which, to be fair, like sometimes that does happen with plea deals. Like sometimes the defendant does not understand actually what they're attaching their name to or stuff like that.
How is that possible? Like before you even enter a plea, they ask you like if you understand what you're doing, if you're of sound and mind and body, and you're not on.
If you enter it, but like in the process beforehand. So okay.
So I mean, and they even ask you like if you feel like you've been represented correctly by counsel, like how they don't just accept a plea. They don't just they're not just like, okay, fine, I did it, and they're like, okay, we take it. There's procedure to it, and they ask all of the appropriate questions, especially like for something where you're just like accepting full responsibility for it. And then they ask him, you know, like, so you're pleading guilty? Yes, I am. So like I don't know that it really like jives that, well, he didn't really know what he was doing. But
yeah,
anyway, so
then,
the judge is like one of them pled guilty. So like how do we rectify that? That was kind of like the bigger, at least from what I listened to. I didn't hear the beginning.
The biggest part for me was how much they hammered them on the Coffeezilla thing that we talked about previously, because like the entire reason why it got the dismissal was granted was not on the argument of Simonelli. It was on the arguments of Coffeezilla. And they're like, how do you square that peg? And like the Fifth Circuit was just not having any of his answers. At one point, I think I messaged to you because we were both listening to it and texting back and forth that the judge stopped the defense's lawyers and said, I appreciate the vigorous and vicissity of your arguments, which is a nice way to say you're saying a lot of shit that means nothing. If you could get straight to the argument,
right? Yeah.
So from what I heard of it, I was at work, so I couldn't take notes.
Gets reinstated.
I'm pretty sure that this gets overturned and remanded.
Well, based on his reaction later that day.
Not a happy camper.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure this isn't the only hot take, but this is the one that I had handy. Let me blow it up here, see if that makes it better. Not much better. But
well, he was pretty much saying
he was like, show me proof I made people rich.
Yeah, like thank you to the people who like supported me and like fuck you and
that was
you die to everyone else.
Yeah, that they were trying to argue about the victim thing, right? Like the harm, and so they were back at that, saying like
you can't track the money.
I guess
they're
but that's the thing is that reminds me of one of the dumbest arguments they had, where they were trying to say that because the money didn't directly come from any particular victim. First, they tried to say that it wasn't a zero, that the stock market is not a zero-sum game. Me and Amy laughed out fucking loud at that so hard.
But what they're basically saying is, you know, they make their own choices, right? They like the same thing we say, right? You hit the buy and sell button, like it's on you.
Right.
That's sort of what they're arguing. And the court's like, but it's because
they manipulated the market and the information.
Well, no, it's because like the only reason the stock is going up is because they're there, right? Like they're in it. They are causing it to go up, right?
By making this false like market.
They're artificially inflating it, right? But and then like I guess for me when I was listening to it, I'm like, does the question then become, because they are responsible for the stock price going up, they are therefore responsible for everyone who's buying in because of it?
Yeah. And that's where it gets a little trickier to prove, but there are people who were injured. In fact, the government, like they kept trying to say, well, they didn't show anyone that was directly affected. And the government's like, we have people that we plan on putting up as witnesses.
Sure.
And
sure
even the Fifth Circuit's like, if you want specificity, you can ask the government for a bill of particulars.
Well, and I feel like they probably have.
Which, I'm sorry,
victim impact statements, right? Like, sure.
Right. And if you guys don't know what a bill of particulars is, it's basically like each individual, like normally when you have a civil lawsuit, you have the actual, arguments put in there, but usually an indictment is a pretty even more concise statement. So if you want each particular piece of evidence and everything that ties in the government's case, you basically ask the court for the government to give you a bill of particulars, the particular arguments and everything into why they're charging you.
Then
with
they
these
quoted that Dan guy a couple of times, right? The guy who said like, "We're robbing idiots of their money" or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Zach Morris tried to say that happened on like a private video game chat. He was like trying to say that he was playing a video game when he said that. I'm like, what video game are you saying we're robbing idiots of their money or robbing money from idiots or whatever he said? Like, what are you trying to say? Like GTA?
Yeah.
Really? Like,
Or
is that really the defense you're gonna go with, buddy?
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much that. We also got an update in the oh, that's really too large. In the Logan Paul Coffeezilla case, they're still working out the whole deposition from foreign countries thing. But in the meantime, Coffeezilla has also moved for motion to compel against plaintiff because he's also hiding certain things. A bunch of disputed communications here that you can see on the chart. Some of the communications are communications between him, third parties, and his lawyer, and they're trying to say, well, if there's a third party involved, it can't be privileged. And other communications like that. Let me see if we got. Oh yeah, and also that some of them are not in an easily readable format. So like here they give an example of Coffeezilla's communications where it's an actual screenshot of what's going on. Meanwhile, they're giving them the hard code. It's incompromisable. Like here, and then there's Paul's.
Wow.
Paul again, and then there's the third party chat that Coffeezilla got. The WhatsApp message here, it says, as produced communications are not only difficult to read, but they also often omit multimedia like the photos or videos, which may have been sent in these messages. So here we got the attachment, but we can't access the attachment because it's just the code and there's no way to go back to the image that was linked. So that's basically what they're asking, is that like you can't also use privilege as a sword and shield. You can't say that you can't use it as a defense and a means to attack. So it's kind of like, remember during Pulte when Pulte was saying that Brandon Jones shouldn't be able to get all of his like social media stuff, and then he was suddenly asking all of us for all of our social media communications, things like that. They're like, sword and shield, you can't just use it as a defense and then use the same argument to attack back at someone. So like it's a matter of keeping discovery fair. So that's basically what Coffeezilla is saying there. We also yes. So we finally have I'm not going to go over all these. I'll have to do this at another time because also there's a bunch of them. But basically, as expected, all the defendants in the pump fund case have filed their motions to dismiss for failure to state a claim. Some of them, like Pump Fund itself, which is based in the UK, is saying that a U.S. court doesn't have jurisdiction. Also, in a twist, hey guys, remember, what's the big exception to RICO? You can't file RICO charges in...
I don't know.
If you're making securities
Financial
fraud claims.
Yeah, financial.
So they're saying if you're calling these crypto assets securities, then you can't sue us for RICO.
Yeah.
So.
Well, wait, how did Marcus Steele do it then with Moen Ritz?
He did. That's a great question, but we'll get to see because defendants haven't responded to it yet. So that may be something that comes up.
He talked about it in Kevin Malone's call that he had or something like a couple weeks ago. I forget though what it was that he said.
Yeah, I've not been keeping up with any of those space calls. So we got two last things before we move to Meme Stock Town. Did you guys happen to read this? The whole Gary Gensler.
I didn't read all of it, but I
didn't read all of it either. But apparently what happened was his phone accidentally got disconnected from the government's like network server thing or something that basically lets the government know that, hey, this is a government phone. You know, when they communicate back.
Was that when he got hacked on Twitter?
I don't know.
Like a large swath of his text messages from his government phone are gone.
Yes, because what happened is when it stopped communicating with his phone, like identifying as a government phone or however the communication is set up, they after 45 days, they set it to automatically, like when you hand in your phone for checks or whatever, to automatically delete all the data off of it because it's assumed that, well, it's not being used for government service anymore. So there's just this, like you said, all these texts and everything, all the apps on his phone were removed and everything. He got it back. He's like, the fuck? What did you guys do to my phone? And so that's when they found out all of this. And that's basically what this entire report is about.
MMTLP nerds.
All the baggies obviously are turning it into a giant conspiracy theory.
All of that was MMTLP related. And therefore that means that it's the biggest case of the century.
Sure. Cool story, bro. No.
Congratulations, guys. You won.
Oh, yeah. You absolutely
There's
won.
been a lot of winning this week for them.
Okay.
1,000 days.
Oh, Jesus. We're going to get to that. Some silliness. Our last one is just wanted to give a shout out because I think that this is also going to be a cool, useful tool. The last time we talked about his Chinese stock promote scams tool. Well, apparently he's made one for stock promoters. Yeah. I think it's a great way to check in on finding good short theses. Hey, watch the rip when one of these guys promotes one of their shit stocks and then just write it down or write it up and down if you think you're that good.
That guy is Mark Ahode's protege.
Yeah, he's got his own problems. We've talked about him before, but
I'm not a fan.
Look, if you've got a useful tool, like
Didn't he make the FOIA website too? To search the FOIAs?
I'm not sure.
Well, go to his bio. Well, forget it. It doesn't really matter.
We're now ready for the meme stock section. We've got another Hibiko gem that he has blessed us with. It's the hierarchy of grifting. At the bottom, we got don't get killed by baggies. I think most of them get over that hurdle pretty well enough. Next one is don't go to federal prison. Looks like that Zach Morris is going to fail that one. The next tier is don't go to state prison. Some people think that one should be swapped because state prisons are worse. You want to avoid going to state prison first and then think about avoiding federal prison. So, maybe we can talk about that. Next up is keep as much money as you can. And then at the top, PP Seeds, keep grifting the same morons over and over again. Speaking of, so apparently he was not happy about people calling his token dumping a dump. Amy, we're gonna have to put you on what was it called? On station, on reporting, something about pulling the Solana deets on his horse crap for a future episode or something like that. Because someone pointed out that there's some correlation between him making tweets and making promotions on his YouTube channel and dumps on the pump. I can't remember. We talked about it on a previous show, I'm pretty sure. But
okay.
He also apparently claims that he's going to get the PP coin listed on Coinbase. Bad fucking chance.
Right. This whole $15,000 of volume.
Yeah, because there's a certain market cap requirement and other trading requirements, I'm sure, just like listing on an exchange. So
I'm pretty sure they have a daily volume trading requirement.
Here's the whole prioritization standards. Sets that are pre-launch listing, selected for exchange. So they do all sorts of technical investigations and things like that. Like this isn't
track
just
record
like,
of the team. Like, really? Is that? Well,
oopsies.
There goes that idea.
Not happening. You know, are you on board with them platinum of a price target of $1 million a share for GameStop? He's getting up there with fucking clown from Boston. He was the one who said that AMC was going to $1 million a share. This is like clownish infinity pool nonsense.
I challenge anyone to prove it isn't mathematically possible. Like, is he serious?
What would the market cap have to be for like what how many shares of there are GameStop right now?
Like 400 and something million. I forget how many.
Oh my goodness. Let's look this up. I'm really. Uh, 408.3 million shares. Okay.
Yeah. Times
so
1 million each.
8.
Isn't that
4008?
I can't even believe you're actually doing this math.
$1 bajillion market.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm really just curious here. So that'd be okay. That's times thousands, millions, billions. 408.3 trillion market cap.
I mean, he does love his zeros.
Winning.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking absurd. Like, what even?
Can't wait till that happens. Probably next year, guys, right?
I mean, is that like, can that just be the stupid tweet of the week winner? Or
look, I've got some good.
I challenge anyone to prove it isn't mathematically possible. Like,
I mean, maybe I should have saved it for stupid tweet of the week, but I got some other good ones. Don't you worry.
That's very stupid, though.
Oh man, is there a good way to zoom in on this? Like, shit. Okay, that didn't really help at all.
That's the fake letter.
Yes, it is.
Do you know who made that?
I don't. I just have seen it. Like, this letter supposedly by McCabe.
Huh?
Do you know
that's
who made
fake.
it?
Yes, that's fake.
Who made it?
ChatGPT made it.
Yeah, that's obvious if you read it.
No, this one is fake.
Oh, okay, that's not the other one.
This is the fake letter. Like,
okay,
this is to the not to the baggies. This is to the not baggies.
So wait, so there's another one you're saying?
There's a real letter, from McCabe. This is not
could you find that? Because I didn't know there was 2 letters. I just knew this one existed.
This was just a joke letter. Yeah, no, this was a joke.
Here, I'm gonna send it to you right now. Because as I just pulled out, like, the phone's listening, but I just pulled up the thing. I need to find a stupid tweet of the week, and this just popped up.
Oh my goodness.
Here. Can this just be my submission for stupid tweet of the week? I just sent it in the chat.
Oh, from Right Brain Trainer.
A few thousand years. All right. Or 20 years with Trump tariffs. Yeah.
This is my submission. Are you pulling it out?
This is not a submission. We're not counting it as a submission.
I want it to be.
Oh my goodness!
You have to
what are you doing, dude?
Hold on, go back up. Via Greg McCabe, if this fails to ignite your heart with passion's fierce blaze, no spark on earth could ever set your soul ablaze.
Oh my! Oh, I don't think he's right brain trader. I think he's just a dead brain trader.
Okay, and so here's the thing. Yeah, so this is the message, because this was a message to all loyal NextBridge hydrocarbon shareholders. So
so that's why they were doing all those messages about I'm with Greg McCabe or I'm loyal to.
Yeah, because Greg knows more than me, and I trust Greg McCabe. But okay, not only was this not even an actual PR, so normally they'll
First of
release
all,
a
the letterhead's
PR.
cut
It
off
got
again.
messaged to some Welsh lady.
It didn't get put on the website. It wasn't, tweeted out by the company, which they normally do when they do a PR. Obviously not on Edgar,
Because
right?
you have to legally.
This was only sent to allegedly like one shareholder to release for people on Twitter or something.
Okay, so bullshit.
Well, I actually honestly believe it, right? Because there's like literally nothing material in this letter whatsoever. Like he's not saying anything at all. So I don't think he could even get in trouble for this, honestly. But it's not the way you do things.
How can you, with a straight face, if this is real,
I think it is.
with a stone cold straight face, talk to your like you just gave your son 3 million preferred shares over them.
Well, somebody.
You're going to pay a guaranteed dividend to.
Yes.
Like, how do you even still address them?
Like that. That will placate them for 90 days at least. They don't need a 10K. They just need this letter.
The fact that they don't see it, the fact that they don't see that he just, like, they've been waiting all this time. They bought this dividend for the oil assets, and, like, he took away your ability to trade. He took all your money.
No, that was FINRA, remember?
You were waiting on some $40 to $145 dividend. You got nothing. And now he just put 3 million preferred shares with a guaranteed dividend over you.
Yeah, but they don't talk about that because that's FUD.
Astounding. It's astounding.
They're saving that image.
But they got this on the 1,000th day. It was a celebration.
Hear ye, on this 1,000th day
of nothing.
Of my choices.
Yeah, of me pretending like we're a private company still.
Oh my goodness. So we're going to take a brief sojourn away from MMTLP. I think I just accidentally put that out of order. But we've got the paid for freaking news thing that was about Kevin Malone and his Malone wealth, like clearly a paid for article about like fluffing his fucking.
Why did I see that he now owns 27% of Quantum?
Because he does with his clients' money. That's why.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It's hilarious, right?
I feel sorry for his clients.
I mean, I don't like if that's, I mean, it's their choice.
But yeah, it's basically a giant fluff piece that he obviously paid for. It's not even
on what?
funny.
What is the site?
News to the Street.
Oh, Lord.
Which I had never heard of up to this point.
Is the
Wall Street burned his clients. Now he's burning his clients.
Pretty much.
Is the author Frank Nez?
Yeah, right. No, the author is Kevin Malone.
Mariah D. Get it? Or Miranda?
All right. Click on her. Let's see what other articles she has. Is there a lot?
Mark Minervini. What
okay, never not that many, but I've never heard of who he is.
Mark Minervini. Yes, you do. He's the one who was on live television when they asked him what what was it? The one they asked him what they do in.
Oh, that guy. Okay, yeah.
What stock was that?
I can't remember.
Oh my God. I can't believe I forgot. Chat, what stock was that?
Well, scroll down. Maybe it says it.
It definitely doesn't.
Oh, no.
Like I said, these are all just fluff pieces.
Oh my God. Somebody better tell me what stock that was. I'm going to lose my mind.
But we also got some other stuff from Malone.
Oh my God, this is so stupid. It literally says covered calls.
I know, right?
The naked first. Okay, this is my stupid tweet of the week.
Oh shit! Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's so stupid.
I posted it to Meltdown when I saw it, and I just, like, how can you, like, this is like remedial English level bullshit.
First of all, like, I mean, you're stealing my thunder, and I'm not coming up with a new one, so everybody is voting on this.
I'll save
like,
it for later.
You're gonna have to just deal with it. But this person wrote the word naked short call strategy ETF.
Yes.
In what world would where naked short selling is banned, would a naked short call strategy ETF be approved?
Well, Amy, it's the synthetic shorts.
It's not a thing.
It literally says covered call strategies where he's quote tweeting. Hello.
Okay.
Yep.
So
this is like the subgenre that has happened in meme stocks. People who failed remedial English.
There's another one. Hold on.
Oh, thank God.
On the same
he's
line.
Stupid even more.
Yes, it's stupid.
You saved that one for your stupid tweet of the week, so I'm not burning yet another one.
Okay,
by the way, did you hear he got blocked by GameStop?
Yes.
You should have seen me liking all the replies to that.
Oh
okay.
my goodness.
All the GameStop investors
I can
rejoice.
still, I mean, it's going to lead with that, but then the one that comes after. Okay.
We're good. We're still good. We're still good. So we did also get an update in the quantum lawsuit
it is
against
bullish, I agree.
What's bullet? Oh, the bullish that he's getting blocked by GameStop. Yeah,
I gotta find out what that stock was. It's gonna make me nuts.
So we do have an update in the quantum lawsuit. We're not going to spend all evening on yet another case reading through it, especially when we haven't highlighted it. But we do have the reply in support and further support of the motion to dismiss. I'll save it for an extra to go over it in its entirety because I think
Upstart. Sorry. It was Upstart. Mark Minervini.
Okay. Yes. So
that was gonna make me crazy. I'm sorry, I had to get it.
They basically went over most of the same arguments they did in their motion to dismiss. I mean, it's not great arguments. Like Amy said, they brought up the whole high frequency trading stuff. Like I'm pretty sure this is a dead case, especially since again they point out this is about Canadian companies and Canadian stocks that trade on Canadian markets. Why is it being litigated in the United States? Make it make sense. Make it make fucking sense. You can't.
What is it? What did I say?
They have requested oral arguments, so maybe we'll get a hearing to listen to, guys. Oh, man.
Yay.
What is this?
I want to hear
West Christian,
West Christian's oral arguments of doom. Please make this happen. Please.
Oh, it'll be like the Sorrento case, kind of.
Yeah, except it won't be
a
bankruptcy judge. They'll just kind of go, yeah, sure.
Not yet. Yeah.
I posted this and I can't remember why. Platinum, you're involved in this. What are we doing?
Oh, that's all. He was that's the thing right there, saying how much he owns. That's the new one. And he was just saying where would quantum be without his buying, right? And I just put the chart up.
Because now quantum's back down around what?
Like $15. Yeah. So I put the chart up for, to show where it was before he started buying, because he started buying in April. And so if you look there,
I think it's even lower than that now. It's closer to almost 13.
Oh, well, that was
no, that was because that was morning of the 5th. And I think it
so that
went up a little
Friday.
bit and came back down, but it's really close to that mark of 14.24.
Right. So I was saying it would probably be, about $6, well, or less, because they have diluted since then. But it was around $6 when he started buying.
Average, looking at the market data on Webull based on buying and selling, I think they said the average person who holds is around $12.20. And I even said that it's going back down there. The last time you see that bounce there at 17, that's where the old average share price was, and it went on its run. So it's going to keep falling until it finds new support
sure.
down at 12.
And even though he now, like, what's he gonna do? This is absolutely insane.
Shareholders are trapped.
This is so crazy that he like legit
I mean, some of that, the first one, wasn't he buying like at $30?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. How do you think it got up to 38.25?
Yeah, because he was buying at 28 and low 30s.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake, good luck trying to find shares on that. It's impossible.
Well,
yeah. Well, and on Schwab, you can apparently.
Yeah.
Little inside info. Schwab has the shares to borrow.
Has the hookup. If you want
to. She'll tell you that.
Well, I will tell you. Props to Semi-Cynic shorting both this and GNS, and I bet he made out like a bandit
on Schwab, both of them. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he messaged me the day he was like, "I finally got a borrow on quantum."
Yeah, he's been in and out.
When he had his whole haters ball thing, he was like, "Oh, well, you'll only be able to speak if you short." And it's like, if you will give me locates, since you obviously had them, I'll fucking short. Yeah,
like I can show a screenshot showing that Fidelity is denying me every time.
Oh, did he actually have that?
No, they're never going to have it, and he's never going to unblock people to actually take real questions ever.
Yeah.
That was just a publicity stunt, as usual.
Before he got fired.
The second time. Yeah.
So we do have some changes that now this could just be because they had already been paid their shares and probably already sold them, but there was a change in the wording that they're no longer being paid by shares. They could be being paid in cash, but where are they getting the cash from? Or if they've already been paid, and well, that's where we're at. We'll see if they get past the motion to dismiss. They want to do oral arguments, so we'll see if that costs them more money for Wes and his boys to do oral arguments.
It looks like the lawyer's no longer willing to work.
Yeah, it doesn't say contingency anymore. So that's what it used to say right there, on a contingency basis.
It's filing.
Now it doesn't say that. It just says have agreed to take and file this case on.
Oh, well, that should have been on.
So
was that a typo, or did they just like?
What the fuck?
I guess they forgot to maybe
take out the lawsuit the same way they have in the past, except they deleted the part about the lawyers working on contingency. So maybe they forgot, they left off, or they forgot to delete on.
Yeah, I think.
And just have agreed to take and file the case. Well, we already know that he got shares, right? So, well, I mean, they paid him in shares, Can't apparently really say working on contingency when you're actually getting paid in shares and dumping on shareholders. But whatever.
So, we're getting ready to go into obviously our marathon of MMTLP lawsuits, but I thought this question by Jen was a pretty good one. So if they could identify these shareholders and all this stuff with share intel, why didn't they file a case for MMTLP or MMAT?
It's a good question.
Yeah. Well, in one of Wes Christian's filings in the metamaterials bankruptcy, he said that, so one of the first things that he said was that they didn't have meritorious claims to be able to do that. And then he filed another thing and said that he was hired on behalf of, what is it called? Flamethrower. Remember when that was a thing with John Barreto, whatever.
Yeah.
And that didn't have any claims. And then he was hired by the MMAT board. And according to him, that they would have claims, but the board didn't want to move forward with it or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
So we do have a brief update in her case. She has moved forward with a motion to reopen the case, and basically the response back to her was like,
after the bankruptcy, right?
No, this is not the bankruptcy yet. This is her case.
No, I thought her case was stayed until after the bankruptcy.
Right. But she's trying to get it reopened, and they're like, can we get her to stop filing so much? Is basically where we're at this stage.
Jen, don't get sanctioned.
She's not gonna. She's definitely not there.
Yeah. the court hasn't told anyone anything yet. It's just
exactly.
like, and for the most part, when it's like filing into the abyss like this, like it's stayed, and unless you're going to move or you get it removed, like at least how I know state dockets, I'm not super familiar with federal, but at least state dockets, usually it's like, okay, who cares if they're filing shit onto the docket? Like it's stayed. What's going to do? Unless the judge wants to remove it from stay, like who cares if they file? Like remember in the case of the state level case with Nelson Willis, where after the dismissal of the case by Adam Aaron, he started filing shit, and they're just like, I don't fucking care. Case is closed, bro. File all the shit you want. We'll put it on the docket, but don't mean shit. So I don't think that she's at the point yet where she's going to get sanctioned. Not yet, at least.
Yeah,
especially when you.
I don't think she's even close. Not yet.
We did, and I won't go over the specific ones because, like, basically the amicus brief, the plan not the plan administrator, but the trustee. We're not at the plan administrator stage yet. The trustee, and we'll get there though. The trustee basically had like this thing of like, we aren't opposed to the amicus brief, but they had this big long spiel about there's some stuff in the amicus brief that we don't agree with, and then FINRA was just like, we don't care, and then it was a 2-page filing. So I don't know.
I'm not sure who filed it either. Who filed the amicus brief?
I remember last week when we mentioned it, and I kind of clapped at the guy.
In support of FINRA?
Oh, the Donahue guy.
And he amended it, and so the amended one was approved, and it's now on the docket as a file.
Got it.
This is in support of FINRA?
No, this is in support of the trustee getting discovery against FINRA. So that is going forward. I don't know what the schedule is now for responses to the actual, now that the amicus is filed, I don't know what the schedule is because it's gotten kind of a little gunky here, but I'm sure we will get a scheduling order as to where we're going next on this, but I haven't heard anything yet. Yes, now we're to the bankruptcy and the interesting part of it. So there was supposed to be a hearing on the 3rd or the 4th, but then the case got reassigned. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around.
And there's a lot of confusion about, did she recuse herself or did it get reassigned? What's the answer?
Because that's what I had originally thought I heard, that it was recused. No, the case has been reassigned. It is not that she's been recused, as far as I'm aware, or at least what's been posted on the docket. All that it shows is that they've been reassigned.
Been a lot of chatter about that.
Of course there has.
Well, and I guess nobody really knows what it was or what it means, or I heard.
See, because we got here case reassigned.
Yeah, just reassigned. That's all we know. It doesn't say recused anywhere.
Yeah.
It just got reassigned. We don't really know why. I mean, we might
likely in a minute the scheduling issue, but
right. Revised herself.
Revised.
I think she's trying to say recused.
Did she though? Oh, that's Danielle. Mm-hmm. Danielle, do you want to come on? Tell us what's going on here.
Because as far as the docket says, it's only been a reassignment. So, I mean, if someone knows differently, happy to hear. But
let us know.
Well, that happened on the same day that they were supposed to have.
Yeah, they were supposed to
right.
Right. Mm-hmm. That because that's what's throwing it off, because it was like, oh, well, I'll go listen to the hearing. That'll be interesting. And everyone's like, what hearing? There's no hearing. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? What? But anyway. Let me see if there was any other major things that happened in some of these. We got the amended complaint in the Axier case, and if this reminds me correctly, is this the one? 89 pages. Okay, yes. So that's that one. I haven't gotten the chance to read it yet, so I'm going to withhold
this is the
comments on that.
Where they said that they were a product of fraud, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that were, and I'm not going to get too deep into that because that's my stupid tweet of the week. There was some people basically saying that.
You ruined mine.
You said you have a different one.
Yeah,
it's
exactly. Yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of people saying that, oh, this proves certain things, and we'll get into that at the end of the show. But it's really silly. We also got a response to the additional authorities. This one was an interesting back and forth because I think FINRA was responding to
real quick. Danielle did send me. She received an email from the court on the day of her case. It says, "Good morning. Judge Barnes has recused herself from Metamaterials Inc. and the case has been reassigned to Judge Sprecher.
Okay.
The hearings currently scheduled for today will be removed from the court's calendar.
Probably to be rescheduled. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Oh, thank you, Danielle.
Then, because a recusal makes it more interesting as to why.
Yeah, that's what I said. And they asked me, Brian asked me, like, why would a judge recuse themselves? And,
lots of reasons.
You come up with
you wouldn't
good and
imagine
bad reasons, but the ones that come top of mind, of course, are conflict of interest or.
Well, but they've been on this case for how long now?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Weird for a conflict of interest,
right? That's what I'm saying. So it's hard to really know if it's good or bad, because they've been on for so long. So
and if they did it, and if they did the recusal sua sponte, they don't necessarily have to give a reason,
right?
So,
well, I would think that if she was going to say, it would be on the docket,
right?
It wouldn't just say it was reassigned; it would say Judge Barnes,
which even makes it even more weird. Anyway, mysteries that I assume will be answered soon enough if it's anything bad. Like remember when we were dealing with Sorrento and the judge had to recuse themselves because they were in an intimate relationship with one of the lawyers.
I don't think it'll be that juicy.
Yeah, I don't think so either, because I think lessons were learned after that one. No one wants to have to go in front of a panel
mistakes were made
explaining how they broke basic rules of judicial practice. No, I don't think anyone wants to play that game. But anyway,
they were like texting during the thing. They're like,
no, they were
joking.
that whole situation should probably be like a docu-series, like put it on HBO.
Oh, a Lifetime movie.
Lifetime movie, yes.
For sure.
Or Paramount. We'll put it on Paramount Network or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, enough distraction with that. So FINRA was just confused. So what happened is let me make sure what case this was. Yeah, Rollo basically posted the McCabe all email, the reply all, and FINRA was like, hey, like, we already have fully briefed our thing. I know this doesn't deal with us, but just to make sure you can't do this. And so that he basically filed that to FINRA's objection, saying, this doesn't have anything to do with them. So their objection is kind of moot. So whatever. Kelly, what was with Kelly that happened new? Oh, some extension of time for FINRA to file its motion to dismiss and order to exceed page limit. Who is exceeding the page limit? Opposition to the motion to dismiss. So someone else's motion to dismiss. So Kelly's wanting to file a 40-page. Ooh, some people that don't know what short.
How many was Al's that one time? 2,000 pages.
2,000 pages
over
with exhibits.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the record that I hope no one breaks. 2,000 fucking pages. That is not a short and concise statement. We also got Stroud's response to the motion to dismiss. He wants it to be a motion to transfer, and the SEC's fighting him on it being transferred. This one, I don't look. How do I put this nicely as opposed to my firebrand that I did on Twitter? You guys, it's been 1,000 days. It's been 1,000 days. How do you not know that there is no U3 all on your phone?
I mean, I was just having this
Shares are
conversation
gone.
Like, it's not even.
Well, because it's not trading, so it's confusing.
No, it's not,
right?
Because
well,
their
clearly it
MMTLP
is.
shares were exchanged, and they were distributed in Nextbridge hydrocarbon shares.
And then the old shares were canceled.
It's not confusing. Like,
no, I know, but
why?
normally
How?
when
What
you
do
have
you think
shares
would be halted when they are in possession of Nextbridge hydrocarbon shares? What do you think is
normally
halted?
shares trade, right? So it could be.
Okay, but that's not the point. Like, it's not the point. The point is that they took MMTLP shares from them and gave them back Nextbridge hydrocarbon shares, which they are in possession of either in their brokerages or through the transfer agent. Okay, that's what happened. So what is it? If you can sit and tell me that this stock is still halted, what is halted when you're in possession of the shares?
They were still in possession until they were canceled, even when it was halted.
But if this was halted still, they wouldn't be in. There wouldn't have been an exchange of MMTLP to Nextbridge hydrocarbons.
Right. That's thinking too hard. Why are you thinking so much? Stop it.
Yeah. So this whole thing about the whole, like, the SEC can only halt trading for 10 days, which isn't that for
that's
exchanges?
True.
Not
no, that's
individual
like
stocks is done by
the SEC can do it, but they usually don't, it seems like. But it does say that they can do it for 10 days or whatever. But
because in normal circumstances, what is the reason to halt a stock for longer than 10 days?
Yeah, exactly. Right. There's no reason to. And
no reason to.
Usually the reason to at other points that I've seen have been due to confusion, right? Like Zoom, for example, when people were buying the wrong stock.
Zoom Technologies, yeah.
Right.
But,
that's one thing.
Yeah. I can't think of even one reason why it would be halted longer than 10 days.
But there was another thing. This was going around. Do you guys know anything about what this was all about? This open
I don't. Ryan does.
Okay.
Ryan,
I briefly saw it, and I just can't.
From our spaces, Burb. But
yeah, he wrote this person wrote an AI article about MMTLP, and they were all having a big circle jerk about it. And he was super rude to people, not, to the people who were in the space, but to people who are like, oh, this is actually wrong about the article. And he's like, I'm not going to fix anything in it, blah, blah, blah. Because he got his data off Yahoo or something. And
well, I guess when you have...
the community was correcting him and then he was rude to them?
No, it was Bailey.
Oh.
And he was super rude to her.
Well,
but they were saying things like, they were like, we don't want to consider this like a meme stock like GME. This is different.
No, it isn't.
Well, it is. But
well, I mean, yeah, GameStop at least is still trading, but
yeah.
GameStop exists. I bet they wish they had.
As far as meme stock designation, no, they're not different.
They, are current on their financials. I could sell if I wanted to and have money in the end. So it's a little different.
Sure, I bet they wish it was.
It's different, but not in the way that you think it is.
Same, but different.
So apparently we also found out that Rob Carter can do spaces. He's just a little bitch. If you disagree with him, or you might blow up his carefully crafted grift, he will not do a space with you. But if you will suck his dick, he will do a space with you. Just keep that in mind. He's also trying to still get the fucking king grifter of meme stocks, Trevor.
Oh, yeah.
In an interview.
No shot. No shot.
He got eviscerated when
Trevor
he went
Milton
on
doesn't
with,
give a fuck about retail investors. He literally like got out of having to repay restitution. Like he's not going to come on Rob Carter's show and be like, "Oh yeah, I feel really bad for these guys," when he told someone who stood up in court and was like, "I put all of my family's money in this," and he was like, "The stock market has winners and losers, bro."
Well,
And
he'll go on there
also-
so he can talk about how the market and the short sellers are so bad and blah blah blah. Like, yeah, of course he doesn't give a shit about the investors.
And even still, he got fucking eviscerated after the Tucker Carlson interview. You think he wants to come out and get eviscerated again by doing an interview on fucking Z tier MAGA?
Yeah, like
radio
Christian
show?
radio.
He's like, "I'm sorry, did you say you're in Missouri?"
Misery.
No, thank you.
Let's make it. Yeah, let's make it clear. Kansas has it right when it calls Missouri exactly what
No,
it
I'm
is.
saying I'm
Misery.
talking from like Trevor when
Right.
he's like,
Yeah, but I'm just
sorry. Did you say Missouri? No thanks.
Yeah. So we also have a new entry in the Jack Schmitty should burn in fucking hell episode. Here we go.
Hang on, I'm not done, Mushroom. This little punk is rattled, okay? He's scared shitless. He's shitting bricks. I love it. I'm here for it, okay? And, there's not a goddamn thing him or anybody he's associated with is going to do about it. I'm still here. He's not going to do shit. And everything needs to be brought to the surface, and it will be brought to the surface. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep getting in touch with everybody. I'm not just going to stop at your children, getting in touch with them. Of course not. But they are adults, and we're going to get in touch with them. We're going to get in touch with your sister. We're going to get in touch with a whole lot of people, including your daughter's boyfriend's family. They should know who their son is dating. All of it, including your son's basketball team. All of it, you piece of shit. Deal with it now, bitch, from Thailand.
Wow.
Winning.
Just want to let you know that if you're really going to do that level of harassment, Thailand does have an extradition treaty with the United States. Get fucked, bitch.
No, Davies is in Thailand.
Oh, Davies is. Wait, no. Why did Jack Schmitty say that he's saying from Thailand?
Because Davies is in Thailand.
That's confusing. Why would he say it like that? It makes it sound like
he's an
Jack is in
idiot.
Thailand.
Because he's just
what
not
he's saying.
smart, and he's
Davies is in
embarrassing.
Thailand. And no, his kids are not minors, but they are 19 and 21, I think, and both in college. And this fucking psycho from Twitter is calling them. His wife and his daughter filed police reports.
Well, his wife or his ex-wife supposedly got on his face. Did you guys?
Yes,
hear
I
that?
did.
Yeah.
And I don't want y'all to play even a second of that. But
No, I don't plan on it either.
so his ex-wife and his daughter have both filed police reports. And yeah, that one shut up real fast when that happened. But yeah, so he's calling all of them and just
Yeah, I also like this like stuff that we've already talked about on this show before. I mean, Amy, you've been the precise victim of exactly this kind of harassment. And these people think that there's no consequences for their actions, and it's why they keep doing it. And so far, people like Elon, who run this fucking platform while these shitheads talk about and organize doing this shit, does absolutely fucking nothing about it. Nothing. He has the power to IP ban these people from the platform so they can never, ever come back again. And he doesn't do a fucking thing. But he does like letting his security employees go around rummaging through people's, PII to give them over to their friends and go through people's private messages and, harass their accounts and everything like that. That's perfectly fine. But when someone is on the platform literally cyber stalking and harassing someone, that's fucking okay. Just so we're clear. X is a shithole ran by shitheads. That's all I gotta say about that. Speaking about
there's like
shitholes,
so many speakers on that panel.
Oh
No one's
yeah,
saying anything. Like if
you know,
I
what's crazy
mean,
is that like even the next day after his ex-wife got on to basically say, "Leave my kids alone," like even broke down in tears. Jack was running a space, and then Glass Guy opened a space, and Zing was on there, and like they sort of were purporting to not be very comfortable with what was going on. But then Jack ended his space and went over there, and all of a sudden everybody's on board again. So like even when they have like moments of inflection and say this isn't right, even if we hate this person, it's not right. Like even when they have moments of that, it just goes away.
Well, yeah, because Jack's one of the bully cult leaders, so they can't say that when he's in the room. And second of all, I don't even think for a minute that these people have actual real ability to reflect on the actions they're doing, because this is all the stuff that they said last time that they wish that they could be able to do to us, as in the three of us on this space. So no, I don't buy that for a single fucking second that they actually.
Well, this is hallmark of a cult, right? Like if you feel like it goes against your personal beliefs, it goes against your moral compass, it goes against your principles, it's not something you would ever do, but then you accept it because you want to stay a part of whatever that is. That's the hallmark of a cult.
Anyway, on to funnier stuff rather than
oh god, this poor person.
So Dustin, Mr. Badass MAGA boy, that's
But this isn't new information. I've heard him say before that he doesn't have that he's not well off and all that stuff. Like I've heard him talk like that before. This is different, but like I don't think he was like.
So he said previously that he doesn't grift. He's not a grifter, but
I mean, like out of all the meme stock cults, like I'm gonna say that MMTLP has to be the most like hoard out, like
desperate.
Oh yeah,
picked over. Like all the grifters have come, and like all the opportunists, like right.
Because they'll accept anybody.
I think a lot of them are invited there by busy brands. To tell you the truth,
too, yeah.
Yeah, it's out of all of them, I feel like MMTLP is probably the whorish of the whores.
Yeah. But
oh,
yeah,
is this current? Does he still?
Oh yeah, this is current. He's gotten only like $30, and he's got a bunch of
zero. It sat out zero for days.
And he's also got 5 sending my prayers. Yeah, okay. But of course he has his standard baggy. I had my job and I was fired not because I was a shithead, but because of company politics.
Dark forces.
I had this credit card
debt. Like his family was like he had to supplement his income with the credit card, and
he said he was doing ride sharing and food delivery. Why doesn't he do that again? I mean, it worked before. Lots of people do it.
He's saying now. I think he's saying now they're suing him.
Right, because they took him to collections and they're suing him in probably small, either civil or like some sort of civil court, trying to get their money, and they're probably trying to garnish him too.
Right. That's what he's basically saying.
So they can't garnish this or something?
No, like what he's trying to do is get a tip jar collection to pay down the debt of $5,000 so he can get it.
They probably offered him like, if you pay us this amount right now, we'll settle the debt.
Yeah, I see.
But apparently that's not grifting, guys. That's not grifting. Where is it here? This place worked down. The spiral hole made me.
Who's he replying to, or is this just all one tweet?
This is just all one tweet. It looks like, not replying to anyone in particular. Yeah. I don't care what any liars, losers, snakes, and wannabe porn star day traders say. Wow, that's okay, whatever.
Is he talking about Bird Lady?
Dang, I don't know. I just I don't even know at this point.
Could be anyone.
I had some Moran stuff planned, but he's just like on a train roll, and I just don't have any time for it because he has like, yeah, that's what I figured. I don't really have time for it, and he's done like I think just this week alone 30 videos. So again, reinforcing the not employed of that stand. So apparently, Investor Turf is back at it again with the whole. If you've got anything about the DTCC or anything like that, yeah, sure.
Well, didn't
whatever.
he like? Didn't they put out a tweet about like they're officially accusing or charging the DTC? Like it was something that they have absolutely zero authority to do.
Yes, it's here. The original tweet that they were quote tweeting.
Oh, they're officially accuses.
Like, okay, you accuse them. Oh, you're officially accusing them. Oh, yeah, like that's I'm shaking in my fucking boots.
Yeah.
Like, what's that supposed to do?
I'm here to officially accuse you on Twitter.
I'm officially accusing the DTCC and DTC and NSCC of orchestrating the biggest fraud in the stock market history, and we demand action. Which one's the biggest fraud? Is this about a specific ticker?
Just
is it just overall? It's just blanket.
Just overall.
Okay.
And then was the other thing
cast a wide net and see what you get. Yeah.
You know what I think the biggest fraud is? We can't ever stop talking about them.
Oh my god! I can't believe they're still around.
Also, I thought that they're not Mullen anymore. Oh wait, this is an old one. So wait, why did I pull this up? I could have sworn someone had done a tweet
probably.
about
I'm guessing they probably reused an old PR. That would be my guess because that's what they always do. And that was probably the last time they talked about it.
I'm not 100% certain that Glass Guy knows that Bernie Madoff is no longer alive.
Why?
I tuned into one of his spaces, or I listened to it. I don't know, but he was sort of talking about him like in the present tense, and I was like, does he know? Does he think that Madoff is behind MMTLP?
Probably.
I feel like there is something of that nature. Like I think he watched one of the documentaries on like Netflix, but he didn't finish it. So he doesn't know.
The ghost of Madoff is shorting their stock.
That would be.
I don't know. It was weird. I was like, why is he talking about him in present tense?
Madoff just kind of hovers over the stock exchange.
I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like I know these are weird things to think about when you're listening to a baggy space, but I'm like, is he?
Oh my goodness!
Is he talking about him like he's still alive?
Amy, we were talking about the Fifth Circuit when we were talking about Zach Morris, but this is the little-known Fifth Circuit case that nobody's swallowing. So this was filed on the 4th. We mentioned last time that Nelson Willis had been making a series of filings, and the Fifth Circuit had been gently reminding him that he should probably stop fucking doing that.
I mean, they warned him so many times, bro.
So this would be time number 3, and they get real serious with this one. Or no, it'd be 4 at this point. Let me double check that. Let's go back here.
Your order is denied. Your order is denied. Your order is denied. Please stop sending
court sanction warning. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this is the 3rd one. So we're on sanction warning number 3.
Get fucked, bro.
So it is ordered. Appellant's motion to deem factual assertions admitted and unrebutted is denied. It's further ordered that appellant's motion to vacate the panel opinion and judgment of dismissal is denied. It's further ordered that appellant's motion to grant appellant's opening brief in full and enter judgment recognizing the merits of evidentiary foundation is denied. Denied.
So many denials.
The record reveals.
You just know they hate like charging
dealing
sanctions.
with this shithead.
No, I'm saying charging sanctions to like a pro se litigant. Like I that they're like
they don't want to.
Please don't make us do it. Yeah, please don't make us do it. And like you just, I mean, look at that.
The record reveals that this panel has now twice warned appellant that further frivolous motions or requests for expedited review would be met with the imposition of sanctions. Appellant ignored those warnings, continuing to bombard this court with frivolous and repetitive filings. Appellant is warned that any further frivolous, repetitive, or otherwise abusive filings will subject him to monetary sanctions. Guess what he did after this?
Immediately filed.
You bet your
Objected to
fucking
it.
britches. The same fucking day,
Wow.
right after the sanction warning dropped, he made a new filing. Guess who's fucking getting sanctioned?
How much do you think, like, Ethan is still over seeing this? Like,
Well,
do you think that he like, calls him when something like this happens?
I
like,
wouldn't be
file again?
surprised if he at least calls it, especially since now, I don't know if you noticed, but his account is now in private mode.
I don't care.
So, Mr. Tough Guy about I'm gonna get you all. Now he's fucking hiding. It's fucking hilarious.
I just think it's
who puff out their chest the biggest. Oh, I'm a big alpha male. All of them turn out to be the biggest fucking whipped bitches at the end of the day. I'm not gonna play this, but did you guys happen to see this one? Guy apparently does D&D stuff mostly, but he does like these side quest episodes where he talks about non-D&D stuff. And apparently he goes over a lot of the meme stock characters.
Oh yeah, I did watch this.
Yeah, he talks like I find it hilarious. Okay, apparently Marantz did do a video response to this, but I find it hilarious that the two big people he spends the most time talking about are
Marantz and Kais
show and Kais. And Marantz gets this like little sliver with the other notable characters section at the beginning of the video. It's like so,
well, and then he talks about his brother, his
fucking dunking on
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny though. It really is.
But yeah, I just wanted.
But he did get a couple things wrong, like, but it doesn't really matter, honestly.
Yeah.
But like one of the things was like, you know, he said that that like Ryan Cohen sold all his GameStop, which he didn't. He sold all his Bed Bath & Beyond, and I was like, that's not right. But then I'm like, okay, why do I know so much about this stuff though?
Right.
You know what I mean? Where I can like correct every little thing on the video. I'm like, oh.
One other last thing on the meme stock thing. Apparently, it chiseled a lot of people's nerves that fucking Robinhood made the S&P 500, and some of them even going like, "Oh, GameStop didn't, but Robinhood did," or all these scams and evil Robinhood. Robinhood has a pretty good business model. You may not like the business model, but I don't disagree.
So do we think that like when Robinhood joins the S&P, a baggie loses a swing?
Baggy loses all of his money. Oh wait, he probably already has because he's a baggy.
Comeback story.
Tough one there. All righty. You know what time it is? It's time for Stupid Tweet of the Week.
I'm going to send you mine because I just have a picture of it. But it's a continuation of the one you pulled up, but the second part's great too. So we'll make that Stupid
his
Tweet
response to it. Okay.
It's additional, yeah.
Addendum. We're going to add some addendums in here. Okay. Boom. I'll let you go first then.
So he said the one that you put up, right? And then he follows that up with at SEC Gov. Don't forget to check this company's marketing disclosures where they advertised covered calls without holding any shares.
What?
Well, I mean, this hasn't launched yet, right? This is a new ETF.
Yeah, it's supposed to launch next week, I think.
Okay. There's a reason.
Covered calls will hold any shares. No shit, because they. Oh my god, whatever.
They basically they hedge it on the other end, right? So it's almost like I've been told it's not like a poor man. It's not a poor man's covered call, but like in the same fashion, you don't own any shares, but you hedge it synthetically with two different types of options. So like, so super dumb. Do you have yours,
Well,
Platinum?
and they will own shares.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay. While you're pulling yours,
I mean, I feel like my thunder just got totally stolen, so Plat's gonna win.
Here's mine. So this is the response here by Finra Robbed Me about this little section from, I believe that's the one you were talking about, where they basically cite the case law and says that void as a matter of law because the underlying assets were unlawfully obtained. And then down here, we've got the, wow, I tried to get this conversation going, and that's why the MMTLP bankruptcy court wants to see the MMTLP info. I just don't think it can be probably talked about now in spaces. However, the SEC is blaming the wrong crooks. The MM for options started the whole thing.
Market maker. So they think that a market maker opened options on Torch.
Right.
Well, it was just like a couple of days before it reverse merged, right?
Or something like that. I'm not super hip to the Torch.
So they think that that came from a market maker. Like the the OCC, like they will open an option chain wherever there is demand for one.
Yeah.
And that's really their criteria for it.
But moreover, with this whole snippet, it's talking about
it's
like the downstream equity, like that the assets that underlined the equity were fraudulent. It has nothing to do with the stupid fucking, it had to deal with the oil assets and the fact that this numbskull can't even understand what the argument is.
No, he does. He doesn't care what that guy said. John Bowen somehow stumbled into being friends with 100 miles per hour, and 100 miles per hour feeds him all of his conspiracies. And then Bowen tries to repeat them, but ends up in a really weird place and not repeating it correctly. So this response isn't even really about what is said there in that snippet. It's about
well, then why are you posting to that? That's like,
because he wanted to say that the market makers forced the options chain so that they can hide all of the 5.
That's even dumber than I thought.
1,000 trillion bajillion synthetic shares that exist.
Speaking of synthetic shares, did you say synthetic? Sounds like crime to me.
It always is crime.
It's always crime. All right, you ready, Platt?
Yeah, I have a couple, but we'll go with this one. So we are asking this like stupid fake account. In your opinion, what are we waiting on for Butterfly to emerge? The FTC already approved in May, and we've heard crickets since. Okay, so this is the one.
Okay, so like, can you explain that? You said it's a fake account. I've seen this @ tag with this name. What the fuck even is?
This is just some account that is like someone's alt
or
whatever.
That's Neon. That's not.
No, I'm talking about
the account
Montreal.
Oh, that's the Montreal account, right? That's the so that's some mystery person who
probably Kai's or something.
Yeah, who posts like cryptic
like
shit,
the stupidest, dumbest
it.
stuff. Yeah, and then
it's like
it.
A bunch of cryptic shit, and then he deletes it,
and they don't even understand that they already emerged in 2023, but that's okay. Hold on, but this is the stupid part.
It's the BBBYQers catnip because they just are like, he's a god.
Okay, so listen to this. Macro market plumbing to be in effect, and yet the billies and cash settled for fraud and third party was probably in forfeited short-term U.S. treasuries and can't be settled or transacted until they mature here, September, October, in my opinion. Like,
oh
what?
My god.
Apparently they think that
what do you say? How do you what?
How do you know the maturity? Technically, the cash should be already in a trust waiting. The released parties thing, that's not what that is. We don't, but a lot of talk in market news this year about U.S. treasuries maturing this year, each month, up to $9 trillion this year, I heard by Shill Media, and an anonymous.
Then why do you care what they're saying? But also, yeah, U.S. Treasuries do mature like regularly on a monthly basis. Like that's
right.
what they do.
That's how they work. Tweety Bird last year, April, said we won and would be receiving short-term U.S. Treasuries in lieu of our cash settlement, I think, or something. Cash via Treasuries, yeah. In my opinion, it will be time to a market event. So carry trade with bond volatility where
I agree.
Who had to pay up will hide this as losses in accounting via interest rate bond swaps. Like what? Words. They don't really have the cash.
What's an interest rate bond swap?
It's just locked in treasuries. Might be so. The yen has a bad spot for a while now, similar to the dollar.
Oh
China's
my God,
real
they're
estate
going to talk
and
about the yen carry.
shadow banks are crashing. Many things
They don't know
could
what that
cause a
means.
They
crash,
don't even
but
know
I
what
have
shadow banks are, I guarantee.
no idea if that's what they are waiting on. Yeah, so this is what we're waiting on for Bed Bath to emerge, guys.
This is nonsense. This is gobbledygook nonsense.
All of these words.
I mean, what did he buy? Did he buy a 5-year, 7, 12,
and then I
20?
just want to
like
share
is that
something
just to
else.
extend the life of this?
Oh my God.
Extend the life of this by like multiples of
Just
10?
want to share one more thing. So it says, turns out Kevin is registered, not registered, which I didn't even notice, but he put now the largest independent registered investment advisor.
So wait, what did that guy say? Turns out Kevin is what?
Registered,
not registered.
Not registered.
Okay. He's registered.
Oh my goodness. We do have the poll open on YouTube. Everyone else is by voice vote, whether you're on X, Rumble, or Twitch. We have, of course, our 8 vote from the Twitch side. If you're voting from Twitch, it doesn't matter if you're just rubbing my axe or anyone else. You have whatever majority vote counts for all view votes. So if rubbing my axe is the only one who votes and there's 10 viewers, guess what? All 10 of you are now being recruited to vote for the particular.
I mean, I've been saving that all week. I've been very excited for my tweet. I even put it aside.
Oh, so it was the hot tweet.
I even had another one. Sal posted the clock from the Teddy book, and I was really considering
again.
that.
How many times are they gonna fucking pull that out of their ass?
No, but the best part, was the fact that people can't tell time like on that kind of clock, and so people were like, "It's 3:10," but it's actually 2:50.
Oh, I can't. I gotta go to bed.
God. So, rubbing my axe has got the vote there. We also have our YouTube votes in. It is a unanimous sweep. Platinum wins. Finally getting back on the W.
It is almost that time of year.
That's only because mine was stolen. I was robbed.
Crime. I had a synthetic tweet.
Look, we had to get rid of
I'm
your.
calling my congressman tomorrow. I just want
you should start a letter campaign.
You're both in very big trouble.
Oh my goodness. So that'll do it for us tonight. Platinum.
I think we should be here. Oh, one of the things we didn't hit on because I didn't the joint statement. Mm-hmm. So the government wants basically. They want the Judge Cobb's decision by the 9th so that they can get it basically appealed, and they want it done, all of it. And they very clearly put they want it done before the FOMC.
I can't imagine why they'd want that.
I don't know that Judge Cobb obliges, but we may hear something on or before the 9th because that's what they're requesting.
Yeah.
But even still, even if she does, and you get it through up to appeal at SCOTUS, the chances of you getting it done by the 16th is
not likely.
Pretty slim. Nobody's gonna. I mean, do they think everyone's just supposed to drop everything and do it Because Trump wants to manipulate the federal.
Well, they want it shoved through as soon as
Airport?
possible because they know the Fed is going to just sit on their hands until something the judge rules one way or the other. Because that's what they said at the hearing. Anyway, so we will see you all at this fun, great time next week, pending any extras or any other things. But it was nice seeing you all once again. We'll
If we get
catch
a
you next
ruling, I
week.
guess we can pop on.
Yeah, for sure.